rise and sing, chopping dreams with a kitchen swing, knives like swords in the battlefield. What's burnt is lost, what's perfect revealed. Steam clouds up like a war-torn sky. Swords and shields, blades flying by. Orders scream in a frantic parade. Every second counts, but no one's afraid. Doubts,
Yeah.
warning ghosts. Fight back.
Welcome in, everybody. So glad to have all y'all here, especially so early. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me turn this music off. So, if you guys didn't know, now you know. We have our own intro music. So, hey, sweet tea, welcome in. Little Dove, let's go. Boso G Skywad, let's go, bro. Good to see you guys all here. You guys are all
I
here.
was listening to it for a second.
What'd you think? It was pretty dope, right?
It's funny. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Some of the songs aren't the greatest, but it's like I'm still messing with it and like trying to figure out how to use the AI music and whatnot. I know a lot of people are starting to do like their own songs and their own music and whatnot, and I'm like, let me try this. Let me try this stuff too. So I don't have name tags on, which I usually do, unfortunately. But I am going to put in chat our special guest of the evening. She is also a Twitch streamer, so be sure to go check her out. And there we go.
Thank you.
So that way you guys can go check her out. Fine, you got a way to go check her out now. Unpin manually. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for being here, Minx. I appreciate you wanting to step in
Thank
and
you for
have
having
some
Yes,
me.
welcome
conversation
in.
with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I always enjoy your guys' podcasts. I'm lurking in the background. So when you guys
Love
started
it.
talking about, I'd love to have some people on to do with chefs and food who aren't chefs, I was like, oh shit, that's me.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different parts to the culinary industry, right? Like there's always,
There is.
Yeah.
there's more to it than just the cooks and the chefs, you know?
No, definitely. Especially my very bizarre angle, which I think a lot of streamers are kind of interested in these days as broadcast and traditional media starts to cross a lot more with what we're turning into with immersive content. And I think a lot of people are kind of like, I'd like to get bigger, but how do I make that step from what I'm
Yeah.
doing, or do I keep going because is traditional media dying anyway? So there's a lot of questions around that at the moment, especially in the food and drink space.
Solo, welcome in, bro. Good to see you. So
What's
tell
going
us
on,
about
Solo?
Yeah, yeah,
it.
no.
So
So
so drop it like it's hot.
like job is like a potato. My background for a long time was in advertising. I'm going to say past tense a lot because I'm trying to get out of advertising. It's toxic as fuck. And you can only take so many breakdowns before you're like, I am done with this shit. So, yep,
Oh
this
yeah.
is a lot of past stories. And even though I
Okay.
dip back into it sometimes, you'll hear me using past tense a lot in a very positive way. But I was an integrated sponsorship
Sure.
executive producer for broadcast and for streaming. So that
Okay.
essentially means that every time a live show or a program, and I specialized in live sports, special events, and food, wanted a sponsor on board, I would work with them to find out ways to integrate them in some way that wasn't disgusting,
Hey guys,
essentially,
welcome in.
because
Llama, welcome in.
it's too easy to have sponsors come in and kind of ruin a show. So it's a way of balancing out so that the talent who are chefs are happy with what's going on and they don't feel used and they don't feel like a sellout. and it
Right.
doesn't make the program look like utter shit, while keeping the sponsors really happy. So that's what I did. I made a lot of short form content and digital content, and taught chefs how to integrate their products into what they're doing naturally on the show.
Nice. I like that a lot because I
Yeah.
know that's so it's kind of like almost editing in a sense, right?
So a lot of it's live in a way. So,
I mean,
I
you're
mean,
doing it live, but I mean, like
yeah.
for us as content creators, it's in the form of editing, going back and editing our videos and making a clip and then posting it to different social medias,
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the level of sponsorship. And
kind of.
this is another
Okay.
question that comes up a lot with streamers is, I guess what I should define first is what Twitch calls sponsorship, and I think food and drink creators are a bit more switched onto this, is not broadcast
Welcome in.
sponsorship. So Twitch
Okay.
sponsorship, and I don't say this in a way that's looking down on anyone doing it, but I see it more as you're more of a salesman for that product. It's not what the broadcast industry calls having a sponsor,
Right.
because they will put out there, hey, if you guys hit these targets, then we'll give you X amount of money, and that's kind of how it works. And in order to hit that, you
Blazing.
need to do the following things. That's how Twitch sponsorship works with Stream Elements as a partner. So when
Right.
I came in from a TV angle, I was kind of like, what the fuck's this? This is really confusing. Like, this isn't sponsorship. Sponsorship kind of has two angles on broadcast and digital side. The first is where a sponsor will come in via the program or the broadcaster. So the talent agrees to work with it, but it's kind of already part of their contract. They've already signed on with the broadcaster or the program that whatever sponsors they sell, they will do part of. They've kind of already said they're going to work with it, so they don't have as much direct contact. Then you've got influencers, which is a different form. So that's where the business will approach the influencer. This is a lot more on Twitch side of things, and they'll be like, "We would like you to create content using our product in some way." And that's
Okay.
where you learn, if you're doing it live, about product placement and how you use it. And with chefs, it's actually about creating recipes that use that product in some way really smartly. And then yes, if the influencer will be in charge of pushing out all the social that comes with that as part of the agreement, compared to in the broadcast side, the program will be doing that. The talent will have nothing to do with how they're being featured in the social that goes out. They usually get sent it for approval to make sure they're happy, but they're not the ones directly editing it.
What's up, Reaper? I see you, bro. Um, yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it was just a lot of
feels very
information for me
big
to take
boy
in,
shit
so I'm still
sometimes.
processing.
I know. And sorry, I'm like, let me, you like drop it, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Hold my beer. Um, but look, if you want, we can chat a lot more about how this applies to streamers, because I think that's
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, and happy to chat to you later as well. Also, I know a lot of streamers always have quite big dreams, and they're like, I would like to end
Hmm.
up on broadcast one day. So how does that work as well? So maybe like we can break it down into like the two sides of how can we apply those learnings from what they now call legacy media, traditional media, to modern. And then the flip side of, if I want to be big and I want to be the next Marco Pierre White screaming at people live on
Right.
camera,
See, I
how
think
do I do that?
the past few days, I've been kind of in a transitional mental state because I I'm at the point where it's like, do I really want to keep doing this the rest of my life? Because the
Yeah,
retirement age is going up. Let's not kid
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah,
And to be stuck in this industry, it's hard, and it's not going to be, the way people expect it to be. And I think I had a lot of expectations, taking the position that I took where I'm at, and then it's not being fulfilling of that. I
Yeah.
think there was a lot of talk to get me into the door, and then once I got in the door, the ball got dropped somewhere, and it was kind of like, well, if you want to leave, there's a door. And it's like, well, I'm
Yeah.
kind of stuck here now because now I'm sitting here on benefits, on paid vacation, um, sick time, health insurance, 401k. Like, okay, I'm not trying to give that up now.
Yeah. Yes, it's a bit trapped. I get you here. Is
But
that
at the no, go
why
ahead.
you started streaming? Here's me
No,
asking the
no,
questions instead, but I got really curious in your story.
no. I love that. I love that. Please, anytime you got a question, I love having questions from guests. I love it. But no, I started streaming when I wasn't working during COVID, and
Ah, that's for me as well.
there was
Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
yeah,
Everybody, most
Yeah.
majority.
pretty
Yeah.
pretty much,
Yeah.
and it became um more over the past, I want to say, year for me, because for a while I was just kind of fucking with it and seeing what I can do, what I want to do, trying to find my
Yeah.
own identity, because I had changed my name at least 4 or 5 times now. So it's like now that I have the name that I have and I'm situated and I'm happy with it and I'm happy in the direction of how I'm doing things, it's brought a lot more focus and clarity to it for myself. So it's a lot easier to sit back and just do my thing and have the camera on at this point.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, that was really similar with me. But from my angle, I suppose, with during COVID, a lot of my clients had to switch to streaming. And a lot of the broadcast rules changed because suddenly we were trying to do live shows, but you had to be like 3,000 kilometers
Right.
apart
Hmm.
while trying to create connections on the camera, and it was really difficult and all the angles. And a bunch of my friends were streamers, and I was kind of like, what's going on here? I should check out this space, and I never expected to keep going, so I just got a bunch of mates together. That's why we've got such a bizarre channel with 7 co-hosts on one channel. Where I was like, you guys do segments, and
Right.
I'll figure all this
Because
out. And we stayed. Everyone really liked the format.
right. Because I think what it was at first is I was going through YouTube and I was just bored going through random videos. And the person that always came up for me a lot was Tim the Tatman, because I was so into Call of Duty at the time because Warzone had just came out. And I was heavy into Warzone at the time. And finding him, he talked about, oh, well, if you ever want to catch a live stream, I'm live on Twitch, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, well, what the fuck
Ah,
is Twitch? And then I found
yeah,
out what
yeah.
Twitch was, and then everything came about from there.
Exploded from there.
Pretty much.
No, that's
Mind
awesome.
blown.
You're doing so well as well.
Right.
There definitely was some streaming platforms that didn't survive. There was like what, like Mixer or whatever it was for a little while. It's like an Xbox
Mixer was a
platform.
big one for a while too. A lot of people
Oh,
were on
really?
Mixer, which was surprising.
Hmm. And then it became
I
Facebook
don't think
Gaming.
I've heard of Mixer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I hadn't even heard of Mixer. There you go. I still feel a bit new in this space, but figuring it all out sometimes
Mm,
as fast as I can.
Right. And it's ever changing. It's
yeah,
always
facts.
constantly
It
changing
really
now,
is.
Yeah, yeah. No, no.
because
It's that's
there was no little to no food and drink community. I didn't even know about food and drink until less than a year ago. And then it was,
yeah.
okay, well, you know, that we have our own category. We're about to have our own creators club. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. What the fuck is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. That was crazy. I was already in the Twitch Creator Club on the VTuber side.
Okay.
Because I mentioned to you guys, but I haven't mentioned to your listeners yet that I keep myself anonymous because of my career. It's just kind of
Oh,
easier
absolutely.
that I keep things separate because it's more because it allows me to fuck around and learn things and be myself without clients sticking their nose in. So it
Right.
allows me to be me and have my own creative space to try things and
100%.
to fail and not to have clients judge me for that. So it's just way easier.
I
But
think,
yeah, I was already in the creator
yeah,
club, and they were like, oh, we're doing a food and drink club. And so they were like, if you're already in the space, you can just come in. So I was like, oh, Wolfie, he's my chef on our show. I was like, dude, there's a food and creator club, like a food and drink club.
right. Yeah, I was excited because that's kind of where things started to pick up for me more so because it's been
Mm,
interchangeable with because I'm bringing in people that I've been watching and supporting and gaming wise for a long time
yeah,
because that's just how I've always networked. I've networked with other gamers and
yeah, yeah,
now
Yeah, this guy right
and
here.
now I'm and now I'm networking with cooks and home, people who cook meals at home and people who are in the industry and people who are um just all about food and foodies and
yeah,
they want to talk food, they want to watch food, they want to know anything and everything there is about food. Just like today,
yeah.
one of my longtime friends, prime example, Super Wiki, he's here on Twitch. He texted me up earlier. He's like, bro, he's like, let me ask you a question. I'm like, what's up? He's like, I'm doing a pot roast, but I'm doing it in a Dutch oven. How long should I do it for? I'm like, well, it depends on the poundage and the weight. And he's like, what do you mean? According to what I'm reading, it's supposed to say like 5, 6 hours. I'm like, no, it literally depends on the weight of the meat. And then I'm
Well,
like,
it's
so how
just
much is the
like
weight? He's like,
random
oh, it's like
times.
three. He's like, oh, it's like about 4 pounds. I'm like, so then you want to cook it for almost 4 hours at like
Oh wow.
275, maybe 300.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like,
I think it's
oh,
that's what I love
okay.
about Twitch. You can just ask a chef. Like
True
the
that.
immersive, like the actual connection instead of it being like YouTube and you're stuck in the usually toxic comments on YouTube side. Like Twitch, you
Oh
can come
yeah,
in and just ask people and interact with people. Like it's a whole new level, which I think the broadcast industry is really struggling with to keep separate. It'd be quite easy for them to integrate immersive content into broadcast, but they are still very much stuck in legacy media for a bunch of reasons. Like in Australia, it's actually part of our law that we have to create and broadcast X amount of Australian content per year. And the
yeah,
word in the law is broadcast. So we can't just completely move to digital content. And it's why a lot of reasons a lot of governments have invested a lot of money into broadcast infrastructure, so they're not going to let it go anytime soon.
right. No, not at all. Because if they
Yeah.
can, we're not going to talk politics, and I don't like getting into politics
No, no, no,
because
no, no, no. Fuck
everybody,
politics.
everybody has, everybody has their beliefs.
Yeah,
But you know what?
I agree.
Like it's so funny. But I'll say this, and I'll say this without including the politics of it, right?
Yeah.
It's the people who have it's like what is it, the golden rule? The people who have the
Mm.
money make the rules. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
leave it at
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. No, no. American politics scares me, man. Especially from way over
Sage,
here.
welcome in.
Like when it comes in, I'm like, oh no, I gotta go. Any
Yeah,
excuse
no.
possible. But no,
Yeah,
it
no.
it and America um ads are quite different to Australia. Like we have a lot of rules in place where we're not allowed to trick people, and I remember being really stunned when I saw some American ads. So for example, they gave us
Oh.
I think it was Law and Order, but there was a scene where one of the actors walks into the next room and they walk into an ad which had been placed in the ad break and then just immediately started selling something, which was wild to me that America allows people to be creative like that. They see as creativity. In Australia, we see it as tricking people because they think they're
Right,
still watching the program, and so there's laws that have
right,
to say it's very obviously advertisement time. Now we have to put bumpers, it's like bumpers, it's like logos of the broadcast station going into the ad break, so you're going into an ad break. Like it's just very transparent compared to what you can get
right.
away with overseas. um but yeah, it's the food space. I'm really interested how that's going to go with Twitch supporting creators a lot more, especially in the sponsorship area, because at the moment it's all games. Like there's nothing you guys are interested in to take on sponsorship unless you're really into Duolingo and learning a language while you're cooking. There's like maybe pick up some Italian. You
Right.
can't really use the sponsorship area of Twitch at the moment. So it's like, what do you do? And this is where I think a
Raz, and
lot
I
of
seen your question. Just give me a minute and I'll get back to it. Actually, let me pin it real quick, just so I don't forget.
um yeah,
That's not the
it's
question I
like
wanted.
what do you guys do? Do you chase your own sponsors? How do you go about that? Like and I think
There it is.
food and drink creators have to push themselves a lot more off platform from just Twitch to get any attention.
Why is
So
it going back
they
to
got to do all
10?
their editing and all of their social pushing and all of that stuff. It's way harder for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride with all that kind of stuff. Um, Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna present this question to um Smokey so that I can go to the bathroom real quick. Smokey, what kind of stuff do you cook with saffron, bud?
With saffron, I mean, my mind always obviously goes to cioppino. That's like my first go-to, or putting it into pastas. Um, but it's always really good with like seafood, lobster, things like that. I've made like a saffron sauce before, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I'm iffy about saffron personally. Always have been. It's very expensive. It's hard to harvest, and it's really not all that great. But yeah, it's very very good in pasta.
Pasta's my favorite food. I talk
I
about
love
pasta
pasta. Yeah,
all
yeah, I
the
love
time on
pasta.
my
Yeah.
channel. I'm like,
And we used to do like saffron pastas. We used to do herb pastas and just like do different specials. We did a basil pappardelle with escargot one time,
oh,
and it was something that I did not think I was going to enjoy, and it was actually really delicious. It was the first time I actually
pappardelles,
like
my
snail.
favorite type.
I love yeah,
Nice.
pappardelle is delicious.
Yeah, snails. I did try snail in France, and
They're
it
kind of
kind of
good. They're kind of good.
yeah, they're not
When
bad.
cooked right,
You
they're
got to do it in the garlic butter. You got to
Escargot.
yeah,
do it in the garlic butter.
exactly. Yeah, that's what we did. We had basil pappardelle, then we had the escargot, then we had escarole and a couple other things in there, and then the garlic butter.
Yeah,
It was
Well,
it's
it's
nice.
delicious.
it. Well, here's the thing. You started growing it. Oh my God. Um,
Started
it's extremely
growing it.
expensive.
Oh my goodness.
It's
I've watched
very
videos on people
expensive.
harvest. I've watched people like harvesting it, and it's so crazy because people don't like a lot of people don't realize it's a flower. It's literally the inside of a
Wait,
flower,
Hmm.
growing
and
Yeah.
saffron?
you have to like
Oh yeah.
you have to pick it with like tweezers. It's like a very very insane process.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And like say
which is why it's
just so
so
you get an idea,
so expensive.
a tin
Yeah,
as big as this ear case, okay, is like on average a little over $100 on
easily,
average.
easily.
Oh, growing
It's
saffron's
insane.
crazy.
It's
I went for
And there's like
yeah.
shitty cheap like knockoff saffron too that just tastes terrible.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, saffron that I've cooked with personally, I put saffron in rice. A lot of like
Rice,
Smokey
yeah,
said, a lot of sauces. Definitely like seafood and stews, like a seafood
yeah.
stew or a seafood broth.
Pino all the time.
Absolutely. You know, but yeah, those are the main ones that you would typically use saffron for because it's not the most widely used, but it is known, if that makes sense. It's very well known, but it's not very widely used because of the pricing of it. Because it's
Correct.
not exactly, is it worth me buying $100 can to make, you know, it it outweighs itself. It's almost not worth using to put out a good product. There's other
Correct.
ways to do it.
There's so here there's Ohio City Pasta and they actually make a saffron fettuccine that you can buy in and it's like reasonably priced. So we were doing
Mhm.
Cioppino without the saffron, and then putting the saffron pasta in as the substitute, and it worked how it was supposed to. So
Right.
like, there's ways kind of around it if you have good purveyors in your area, but it's also like not a lot of places are doing stuff like that
Right. Because it's so expensive.
because it's so expensive, and they're probably using a lower quality saffron to produce that pasta.
Hmm. Very true. Very, very true. So I'm sorry. Back to where we were.
I'm sitting here dreaming about pasta now. I'll admit it. I was just like zoning out, thinking
Hey,
about what type
hey,
of pasta I was
His
going to cook later.
Our new
a
rule is
good
he can't walk
pasta.
away without asking a question. So
Right.
it was
So
a good
yeah.
filler moment to bring up pasta.
Yeah, I
Right.
was like,
So
oh, I can have
pasta. I
pasta for
mean, you
dinner.
can't go wrong with pasta, right? Like
You never go wrong with
any
Yeah,
pasta.
any pasta dish is usually 9 times out of 10 really fucking good.
it wasn't derailing at all. Pasta's my favorite
No,
dish.
no,
My
not a
eyes
derail
lit
at
Upper
all.
up
class, what's
when you.
good, bro?
I was like, yes,
Definitely
I'm
not.
happy.
Definitely not a derail.
Very hungry
We
now
have two
though.
questions. Ah, I'm fucking missing them. Where the hell is my
That's the
mouse?
worst when I'm smoking and we start talking about food. Then I get really hungry and
Yeah, yeah.
it's brutal.
How do you guys
No,
make white
um,
chili? Hmm.
I don't make white chili. I make
I've
red
never
chili
made it, so I don't
or
know.
green chili. I make red or green. I do not make white.
Let me see if there was another
Yeah, I don't know.
question on the list.
You lost me on that one.
Yeah, no, I've never made white chili. I
I
don't,
make red
so
chili
I don't
because
know.
I'm from New England, and I make green chili because I spent like almost a decade in Colorado. So those are the two chilies that I know how to make very well. Oh, white chicken chili. I've heard of white chicken, but I've never made it, or I don't even think I've ever eaten it.
Mama's house. I say something, and all of a sudden there she is. Hi, Mama. I love you.
I remember Mama's house causing all the chaos while I was in one of the last podcasts. That was great.
I love Mama. She's. I got a lot of love for Mama. And then every time I
Yeah, I've never
hear
made one.
something that goes on behind the shadows, that always pisses me off. But because I don't want anyone to fuck with my people, and because that shit drives me insane. Is when people fuck with my people. It's like, nah, you can fuck with anybody you want to fuck with, but you ain't fucking with mine. I'm
Aw,
that guy.
that's really sweet. That's really sweet. I like that you're
Oh,
protective.
geothermal recipes and all this. Yeah, well, you know what? You could always just post it in the Discord, my Discord, the Chef Mega's Tiki Bar and something or else. I don't fucking remember sometimes. Sorry, me bad. Uh, but yeah, post it in there. There's a whole section about rating. I hear Chef cussing me out, and where is his mom? I'm right fucking here. I love you. You're not. Yes, you are. Because didn't you ask me for the link to my Discord? Dude, you about to call? I'm about to call you out. Hold on.
About to call you out.
Fuck with me,
I'm
Chaos
about to
Reaper.
call
I
you
swear to
out
God.
live, live on stream.
Oh yeah. Because you put me in the Reaper one. No, I'm no longer in that one. That was me and my best friends, and I had a falling out with quite a few people, and I got just sick of being there because it didn't feel like home anymore. Not that I didn't love them, just didn't feel like home, and I need and want to have my own home. So this has been created. Um, yeah, I'm not. I can't see you right now, but shoot me a message on Discord to remember to send you that link. Or just when it pops up, click on it because it pops up in the chat all the time. Um, so manicotti, ooh, really? So how'd it turn out? Because manicotti's really good.
Manicotti.
I
What
like a
is
good
those?
manicotti.
Do I know what a manicotti is?
You don't know? Who didn't know?
Oh, that looks like cannelloni to me. Is it really
It's like a
similar?
crepe.
Cannelloni, yeah, cannelloni is delicious. I make a lamb
Yeah.
cannelloni, lamb ragu cannelloni.
Cannelloni is like the meat version of manicotti, because manicotti is pretty much just cheese, and cannelloni is like meat,
Oh.
cheese, spinach, pretty much anything else you want to stuff.
Oh
And,
my
and,
god, it's
and
just
what it really
pasta with cheese? That's delicious. What the fuck?
and it's almost like a crepe, right? And it's real thin, and you put stuff in the middle and you
Yeah,
roll
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and that's pretty much what it is.
I think people use cannelloni incorrectly upon realizing this because I think that people just go, "Oh, it's spinach and ricotta cannelloni," which must be wrong because if cannelloni is strictly a meat filling,
And
they're
so
using the term wrong.
In America, when I say
Oh, here we
cannelloni,
go,
everyone
cooking
thinks
class.
they
Let's
say
go.
cannoli, and they think it's a
Ah,
dessert. And then I
oh
present
no,
them
it's
a
a
pasta
dessert.
dish, and they
Yeah,
think
and they
I
go,
present them a pasta dish, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" I
Let's
said,
go.
"It's a cannelloni."
it's a cannelloni.
Yeah,
Oh, that's yeah. Okay,
yeah,
interesting. I think they use it wrong in Australia. I think everything is just cannelloni.
Yes,
I've
you make
never
yeah.
anything
heard of
with
manicotti.
fenugreek.
That's so interesting.
Oh,
I love
it came out
cannelloni.
dry. I'm
That's
sorry to
my
hear
heart right
that.
there.
Did you not use enough sauce maybe with it? I don't know. Chili is quite adaptable. Yes, it is. Um, cooking class, thank you so much for posting that. I love that. Can you I wish you were in my Discord to post that there too so I can remember. You know what? Do I have the
Just
link?
copy paste it in just copy paste it into one of your channels.
No, I mean I think I have it already set up.
Oh,
It should be. I'm hoping that's the right link. I'm hoping. Somebody test it out to make sure.
I'm checking myself, seeing if it takes me there. Yeah, it should. It should be fine.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Yes, please go post in there. I want to be able to remember that and check that out. Massa flour. Oof. Love it. Do you guys make anything with fenugreek? I
Try to avoid it.
I think I've worked with fenugreek like maybe once. I've never
There's,
really used it much, if at all. Smoky?
It's
I'm trying to think. There's something that I used to use it in, and I can't remember what the hell it is. Hmm.
it's getting Indian food, but I don't have too much of that. I like a curry.
I have a way to like narrow this down. Hold on. But yes, you are right. It is Indian. What the hell was it? I can't remember off the top of my head. It was definitely something Middle Eastern. I know that. But yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite. The flavor is just kind of weird to me. But I also do like it. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in butter chicken and shit like that. Then I do like butter chicken, so
I was just gonna
I
say
can't.
butter
I
chicken
can't.
or
I
maybe
can't.
a curry
I think it might be a
because
curry.
because
It's some sort of curry that I
because
used to make.
in Indian is a lot of curry in my
Yeah, but I
personal
love
opinion.
butter chicken,
I may
so
be wrong. I may be wrong. I never say I'm always right.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to our interview.
Sorry, I knew I was gonna
Minx.
get hungry
So
on this.
I know, right? I want to make a pop-up, and I meant to do it for especially the cooking streams. Be like, when you enter, please make sure you have snacks because I am not able to digitally feed you.
It's so true. It's so true. I have this every time we do our cooking stream. I now eat beforehand and I have snacks through it.
Hmm.
And I'll do it based on whatever we're cooking. I'll have something similar because I'll
or
get jealous.
Right. Be like, I wish
God
I
damn.
had that today.
Yeah, because I can't eat it. Our co-hosts are from all over the world, so all I can do is just look at the deliciousness being created and then watch him fucking
Right.
eat it and be like, God damn it.
Give me a bite.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what other steps would you recommend for streamers that are trying to navigate into that world? What do you recommend doing?
It's see this is the big question is like, do you stay in the Twitchverse and navigate towards sponsors and being noticed, or do you try get yourself into traditional media? Traditional media, I'll be really honest, there's
That's
ways,
weird for
but
class.
you already have to be famous. It's like when you're at the point where you're making a show based off your personality as a chef, like as who you are, you're already well known. You're someone who has
Right.
already got a couple of restaurants under your name. You're already published. You are just already up and coming in some way, and that's when people will start to approach you. And I think that's kind of a problem. Is a lot of people kind of hope and dream to be approached, but they kind of don't know how to get themselves out there. Um, Competitions obviously are a really obvious one. If with broadcast, it's kind of like the cheats way in.
Same
I
for
say it like
myself.
it's not hard work. It's incredibly hard work. Like there's someone in food and drink I noticed quickly who came from MasterChef, and that's kind of a way.
John, Chef John.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like some people will go via that way of getting themselves on TV in some way, making an impression, and then they're just immediately known. The hard work's kind of done and off they go. That is is
Right,
is very hard and it's very stressful. It's really
right.
interesting. The Master Chef in Australia, we had she insists on calling herself a cook, not a chef, despite her experience. But Maggie Bear, if you've ever heard of her,
I love that because
um,
that keeps you humble. It really
yeah,
do
yeah,
because
she's
a
Yeah.
lot
very
of us
much like I'm a
a
cook.
lot of us when you get that title that title blows up your head to think you're something bigger than what you are, but at the end of the day you're still a cook.
Yeah, MasterChef went kind of interesting in Australia, and I had mate too working on the set, so heard a lot about this. I used to not be able to talk about it, but it's quite out there now, where one of the contestants were having a complete breakdown. Inevitably, like the stress is ridiculous, and Maggie Bear was one of the guest judges, and she had been instructed by the crew that you're not supposed to get involved. Like people have to. It's unfair if you try and help them in any way. And she got so upset that she was like, "No, fuck this!" And she went down and she's like, "Calm down. We can do it together. Where are you up to?" And she started helping the contestant. And she's just like, "I do not agree with food being made into this unenjoyable spectacle where someone is having a complete breakdown and it's scarring them for the rest of their life. Like it's just so fucked up." So she kind of almost stopped the shoot to help this person, and it was like a huge issue, and the way they had to edit it and everything to make sure it didn't turn into like a huge PR thing. But now it's quite talked about in Australia. But it was quite full on for the
Hey,
people on the set at the time.
Kanara. You know what though? I love that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she took the time to do that. Like because
Yeah.
like and I love the point that you said that she made about it being what people are turning making food into. Like it's
Yeah.
competitions
Yeah.
competitions are cool in their own world, right? But
Yeah.
like it shouldn't be made out to be such a stressful environment to where you have a
Yeah.
mental breakdown. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Leaf
All in
chick,
the name of
welcome in.
entertainment. Leave, hello.
Right, and that's
And
what
this
it
is
is at the
this
end of the day,
is
and that's crazy.
yeah. It's something that really I got confronted a lot on set as well. One of the people I got to work with was Marco Pierre White, who is
Love
infamous
him.
with the kind of
Oh my
crazy
god,
fucking stories. Do you?
I'm so
Okay. Well,
jealous. I'm
I'll
so
try be
jealous.
polite because he is an asshole.
Asshole? Really?
like,
I mean,
oh,
big chefs mostly are
yeah,
assholes. I mean, let's just call it what it
yeah.
is.
It's and I think this is it is quite difficult to work with as well, and it's there's something
Really?
interesting that goes in where the kitchen is already traditionally quite toxic. And a lot of
Yeah,
people are making some
very.
awesome work in the industry to turn that around, which you're starting to see translate over. But then people got obsessed on the broadcast side of, oh my God, this is awesome. There's some asshole just yelling at people and they're crying. We should film that. That's great content. And it kind of made the industry even more well known for it and possibly exaggerated in the kitchen.
I think a
And
lot of
it's
it was exaggerated.
massively, massively.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
it's interesting because then you meet people like Marco was like that. Now part of it is because as a talent you become quite self-protective. You're
Hmm.
very used to producers and sponsors trying to push you to do
Thank you,
things, and
Apollo.
you become your own brand. So you're like, well, as my own brand, I don't want to be seen doing this, and so you end up becoming quite difficult for your own reasons because you're trying to protect yourself, which makes sense. But there's definitely some chefs that I've worked with where I'm like, oh no,
Thank you for the follow.
that's you, which is like was a little confronting when I started working, but I think that's shifted a lot. Like
It's
I got to
starting
meet
to, I
my
feel.
hero is Heston Blumenthal. I love Heston. He's like
Okay.
Willy Wonka to me. Um, and I got to meet him when he came to Australia, and he's lovely. He talks quite openly about his ADHD, and it's really fascinating watching him on and off because it's like he doesn't like being on the medication because it affects the way he thinks, and he likes being
Yes,
more creative and all out there, and compared to when he suddenly had to focus to get
yeah,
through a really difficult
I get
time.
that.
So that's really interesting to see as well.
And I
um
love that we're talking about this. And one of my
yeah.
things has popped up again, has popped up. Welcome in, loving kittens. Um, is is the Burnt Chef Project. I don't know if you know about the Burnt Chef Project,
No,
but
what's this?
it's a nonprofit social enterprise, and it's designed to raise awareness and God damn it, my whole Q thing rolled on me. Um, designed to raise awareness and provide support and education around mental health issues in the hospitality industry across the world.
That's awesome.
And what they are doing is absolutely amazing. As far as offering the education, to for say like executive chefs like myself and like others, to be able to learn how to better talk and better communicate with our staff because a
That's
lot of
so awesome.
a lot of tendencies do happen where we do revert back to our older years where it was, listen, if you don't do what the fuck you're supposed to do, I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out for it.
Yeah, yeah, that old
And it's like
culture.
trying to walk that fine line of, hey, I'm your boss, I need you to do this and get this done. And you know, I I don't believe in coddling people at all. I don't. I hate it. I think it's one of the worst things ever. Um, I have always been quick to cuss somebody out. I mean, but that's my own personal temperament, and I do feel bad about it. However, we're in a business that it's demand, right? It's
Yeah,
demanded that we get this out and we get this right.
Yep.
yeah.
So,
No, that makes sense, and I think that's kind of what you see a
but
lot
I
at the moment is that transition of managing that in
right, and what you guys, I'm
a
sorry,
firm but more
real
positive
quick,
way.
right, right. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I am fundraising for the Burnt Chef project in my own way. It is called The Head and the Heart. because it takes not only your mind but your heart to make food. And that little QR code on the overlay, if you guys want to scan that, if you guys decide you want to help, donate and help um, the Burnt Chef Project with their funds to be able to continue to raise awareness and support and help with mental health issues in the culinary and service industry.
It's awesome. It's important, definitely, from what I've seen and who I've worked with and the stories that I've heard just chatting to chefs. What they've been through to get to that point is just crazy.
Mm,
Like just
yeah.
and they shouldn't
Oh
have
yeah.
to. Like it's always hard work to get somewhere big, but that's abuse. Like there's a point where it's just abuse and that can tear people apart. So that's
It
really
is.
cool to hear that there's an initiative doing that.
Um, I don't know if you have it there in Australia. Do you? You probably have some. You probably have it, and I'm just being unknowing. Um,
No, no.
you have like Hulu and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're not as big.
Have you
Netflix is definitely the dominator along with Stan here, but
have
I
you
think I
watched the
think you can get
series The
Hulu.
Bear?
No. What's
Oh
the
wow,
If you
bear? Ah,
if you
that's
can
you should watch
find it,
that.
okay.
you should
Okay.
I highly recommend.
Okay. The
But I
bear.
will
All right.
a spoiler alert for everyone who has not seen it but is interested in seeing it. Go go check it out. Go
Oh,
watch it. It's amazing. But I love
okay.
the part where he finally confronts one of the chefs that pretty much verbally and mentally abused him. And he's like, "You gave me ulcers. You gave me mental issues. You gave me this." And
Yeah.
he's like, and the chef is looking at him like, "What's your problem? You're great now.
Oh,
Like, why are you so mad at me? Because I made you great. Because that's what it takes to be great.
Reaper, thank you for the follow, homie.
You
yeah.
know,
It's such an interesting, like, is that still right or not? It's such a deep debate. It's
season three
interesting.
failed
You
for
get
me
it in
so bad. I watched
advertising as
season
well.
four.
I haven't watched. I don't know if I watched season 4 yet or
Uh,
not. I can't
I don't
remember if
think
I
I
watched it or
watched
not.
season four either.
No, that's the
I
newest
definitely,
one.
yeah, I haven't. Boogie, what's up, yo, Boogie? I definitely got to get with you in schedule. Um, we're gonna have Boogie on the show at some point. She is an executive chef as well, so I love having another chef to bounce things off of on the show, especially because she's a gamer and she is um she's had a lot of stuff she's had to work through, I'm sure. So it'll be
yeah.
interesting to have her on. I
Yeah.
definitely gotta remember to sit and schedule with you.
Boogie.
Oh, Boogie, you are in the Discord too, so I'll probably end up messaging you that way because it's much easier for me. Um, but Minx, let's
Yeah.
get
So
a
how
little.
do you want to get to that point of breakdown? I think the original question was like, what if I want to be a really massive chef superstar on TV? And how do I get there? I mean, my first advice would be don't. But if that's your dream, um, it's definitely way harder. Like it's an industry where the well-known names are pretty solid at the top. It's like the same people over and over again. It's because they have been there since the beginning of the industry. This is why Twitch is really interesting as a growing media and immersive content, is that I actually suggest you stay with it and try to get yourself out there in some way, because it's new media compared to you trying to get into old media where the names are just so established now. So unless you're going to go the competition route, and that's one way, is you get yourself on TV in some way as an assistant, and then because you're recognized, you can kind of pitch yourself. But if you want to know the background of kind of how it works, is a lot of broadcasters will be intaking of pictures all the time. But the big thing is you have to be attached to a well-known producer. So that's the first thing, is you're probably going off to a production house first to pitch whatever your idea is, and then the production house is going to be who ends up selling it into the broadcaster with you or the distributor. it's never at this stage because you're a no one, so no one gives a shit about your name. And if you're like, oh, but I'm a Twitch streamer, they're gonna be like, there's a really famous clip I think of Gordon Ramsay being like, what do you do? And I think her name was like Trisha is a birdie. And she's like, oh, I'm a Twitch streamer. And he just pauses and he's like, what the fuck is
What the
Twitch?
fuck is Twitch?
And this is like the
I love
huge
it.
gap at the moment between the old school media and the new is that there's no respect for it at the moment at all. So if you go into any
No.
really old school media places and be like, oh, I'm a Twitch streamer or I'm a YouTuber, they're gonna laugh because they're just like, oh yeah, you know, they see it as people who have dreams, and everyone makes content now. This is the hard thing. So I've had people try to apply for jobs in broadcast and their whole CV is, oh, I'm a YouTuber, and I'm like, that's not going to work. That's not going to cut it. So and it'll be interesting for you guys. Like it's a little different, I think, with the food industry. Like if someone approached you and was like, "Oh, I make food on YouTube," you're probably, well, you know, there's always a job somewhere at the bottom in the kitchen that you'll take someone, and it's quite hard to get people. Wolfie's always going on about it, but in the broadcast industry, it's like everyone wants to be in entertainment. Everyone. There is always someone who is willing to replace you for cheaper when you have that breakdown inevitably.
Yep.
And that's a really hard thing is it's the same thing. I think
Very
if
bad.
you want to be recognized, then you got to do it for the passion. Don't be chasing for the money. Don't be chasing to be famous. Do it because you have some kind of passion, and then you'll always be happy. You won't get obsessed. It's the same on Twitch. You won't get obsessed with the numbers all the time and watching things and being like, oh my God, am I successful yet? I'm not. I'm going to have a breakdown. That's just a path to absolute misery, and it's not worth it. So it's kind of the same thing. And in that vein, it's like, a lot of people kind of understand sponsorship vaguely in this idea of I should be paid for what I'm doing. But if you kind of flip it instead, and for example, most food products, if someone posts on social, someone using their product, especially a chef, they're going to love it. Yes, you've just done something for free, but they're probably going to share it. They're probably going to share it to all their people just to start putting ideas out there of how you can put yourself out there. And as soon as you start valuing, instead of someone paying you, the value of how much you got from a company just sharing you on social media, that advertising value is actually quite high. So that's one idea, is if you love a particular product genuinely, and we can talk about how you feature that in your stream, you could create a recipe. That's what people do on the sponsorship side, is they'll create a recipe using and highlighting that product in some way, and then you put it on social and you tag them. You'll get attention. They won't give you money. They won't suddenly be like, oh, come be our brand ambassador. Like, don't worry, like that's not going to happen. But they'll be really happy and they'll share you and you'll get attention. And that's a start. It's kind of like how you start to get yourself out there. So it's kind of flipping the idea of what value is. And as soon as you start doing stuff as a passion instead of expecting money and trying to make a living off of it, it kind of switches things around for you a little bit and starts to put you out there of getting your name. And it's kind of making, instead of hoping that you'll suddenly go viral, everyone gets obsessed with the idea of suddenly going viral and their 3 million hashtags for your front page and all this kind of shit. Put yourself in situations to go viral. And by doing that, it's putting yourself in situations where someone is going to share you to their audience. And that's what you're always trying to do. You're trying to get yourself shared to a wider audience and figure out different channels in order to do that. And if you do stuff for free like that, they're just going to love you. So that's one idea of how you can start to get yourself out there and start to get yourself noticed. And then you're starting to build that CV a little bit of as seen on, so you can be like, oh, you know, I've been shared and recognized by the following people. But back to, yes, if you want to pitch yourself for a show, and this is something interesting to think about as a content creator anyway. Twitch is really different in the fact that you're just live. There's not much of a story. You're trying to create stories, but it's very interactive compared to YouTube. So it's like, how do you stand out from a sea of people, of everyone doing the same thing. And the thing that I always hear, I'll admit, from, and this is from a producer perspective, which is a bit more assholey, but it's like, I think every chef streamer I've come across, they're like, I want to teach people. That's the same story every time. Is like, what's your unique angle? And they're like, I want to teach people. And it's like, everyone wants to teach people how to cook. It's not unique. So the question is like, when you look at shows on TV, they're always taking a journey of some
Sorry,
type, whether
that's my
it's
fault.
like, hmm?
Oh
No,
no,
no.
I messed up the cams for a second. Sorry.
Ah, oh, then no, that's fine. Oh
I
yeah, I
mean, you
see.
were
You're
still there.
black.
We weren't there.
I'm
That
there.
was weird.
I'm
That was weird.
here chatting away.
No, go
But
ahead.
yeah, if
Keep
you want
going.
to pitch something, it's about what journey are you taking, whether it's personally or with the food relationship or something like that. So if you're trying to create some kind of story for some kind of series, what journey are you taking? So you'll see chefs who are like, I, live in America, but my ancestry is in India and I've never been there before. So I'm going to go back to India and I'm going to see how people are cooking through India and blah, blah, blah. And that's something that's really interesting. It's like watching the chef have to see all the health issues and everything in the background and how they go about to get all the food every day. You've created a story instead of centering it on you. And I think that's a big thing is a lot of people, a lot of streamers are trying to center everything on themselves. They're like, hey, I'm a chef and it's all about me. And it's like that's not an interesting story yet. Where as soon as you give yourself something you're trying to achieve or something as a personal journey that you're trying to go through and understand better or challenge yourself as a chef, suddenly it's really engaging. So that's something to think about as well. If you're trying to get somewhere and you're not a name yet, create a story.
I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely fucking love that, Minx.
So there you go. There's a question for you as a chef streamer is what's your story? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to learn? What are you going back to? Challenge
I
yourself to
think
do something you don't know how to do.
absolutely. And for me, I feel like I'm already starting to do that.
That's
And
awesome.
and it's because what how do I want to I'm trying to figure out how I want to present this because it's like this it's very important to me. It's proving that you can go through all the things that I've been through in my life, mostly because I did it to myself. However, you can go through so much in life and you can still be okay and you can still come out on the other
Yeah.
end if you keep applying yourself and if you keep working for it. Because um not even that long ago, what was it? 6 years ago, 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, 6 years ago. I I was an addict. I was all about drugs and drinking and getting fucked
Yeah.
up and partying all the fucking time. And hey, I appreciate you, El Boogie. Get some rest. We'll holler at you.
Get some
Um,
rest.
and I want to create the narrative that, you know, you can hit your rock bottom and just look up and never look down again. Like keep climbing
Yeah.
for that shit. Keep working for it.
Yeah.
Keep growing. Focus. And like I had to focus on myself, and like instead of drugs and other things I put in place to replace the drugs. I ended up having a family. I ended up getting on Twitch. I ended up doing so many different things that I put in place to get away from that and to stay away from that and to have a reason to keep fighting for what I want and keep striving for better and better and better and better.
That's awesome. That's so good. Yeah. So you're on a personal journey and there's already a story there that's beyond you. that you can connect to, and people who have been through that can connect to, and people who haven't been through that, who may have had a bit more opportunity in life or not been exposed to those things. For them, it
Right.
is fascinating because they can learn vicariously through your stories and come to
Right.
understand people who have been through that a lot more. So, and this is where it's kind of like suddenly you've grown beyond just I'm a chef and I stream, and
Right.
it's kind of like it's making it bigger than that and something for people to actually connect to, or I just want to teach people how to cook, which is great. Like I really feel like a lot more people need to approach it and realize it's not that scary. But it's kind of like as soon as you immerse them in a story, you're going to get a wider audience. And this is something we really noticed on Twitch because Chef Wolfie, our live slot, is set in amongst all of these very game orientated segments, and then we have live cooking. So the majority of people who come through in our audience, they're not actually into cooking. And in fact, a lot of what Chef Wolfie does kind of just happens in the background sometimes, quite funnily, and everyone's just kind of chilling and hanging together. But
Did you
they
say
love
that
learning.
he's on Twitch?
He's on my channel. So we have 7 co-hosts that are only on one channel. So yeah, every
Oh,
Saturday we
okay.
have Chef Wolfie
Oh,
that
that's
does
cool.
live cooking. Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And
I
then
did
he
not
can
know
pop
that.
into up. So there you go. Yeah, we're a very weird setup. You can tell I come from a broadcast background because it's almost like watching prime time across
And
each
it's
night
on your
is
channel?
each night. Yeah,
It's on the
yeah,
MinxOdyssia channel?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so it's like on Saturdays we have Chef Wolfie who does live cooking, and then on Sundays we have someone who is a platinum in FPS, and so is doing shooting games. And then on Monday we have someone who's a massive lore nerd, so their background is like JRPG. And so like each
Okay.
day we have a different personality that kind of chats. And then yeah, Wolfie's thing is live cooking. And it's interesting because yeah, a lot of people who came through, and he had the same kind of aspiration when we started of I want to teach people to cook and really inspire them. And by the end it's actually us doing really nerdy things all the time. Like he'll cosplay, we'll do Fallout recipes and try to figure them out. He'll do lots of stuff where he's not trying to impress anyone. Like he's like, I've never tried to do this in my life and I'm fucking around to find out. And people love that way more. It's like they've become part of the experience, and none of them want to cook. None of them to this day have gone away. I think maybe 2 people in 2 years have cooked something that he has cooked. And we don't have that expectation anymore either, that people are going to go away and cook what we're making. They just want to hang out. And they love nerding out with learning about the gastronomy side of things because we're just all complete nerds. So
I love
it's
that. I'm
been
gonna have
really
to
interesting us developing
definitely
us.
make sure I check that out because
It's
I didn't even
something
know
you're
that. So it's
seeing.
Saturday for you would be
Yeah.
what? Friday for us.
It's very early morning. So he's getting up because we're on Australian time. He's
Right.
very early in the morning for him. So yeah. But I mean, VODs are
Okay. You
there
know
if
what?
anyone wants to check out us hanging
I
out.
haven't I have an answer for that. We're gonna go ahead, and I thought I had you in there,
Larry,
but
what's up, homie?
I'm gonna add you
How you doing, man?
to the stream bot and the stream
Oh,
bot
thank
for
you.
Discord to make sure that your channel is shout out because I definitely want to make sure I catch that at some point
Oh, thank you.
for sure
There you
because
go.
I would love to see that.
Saturdays. Hopefully see you. Yeah, it's good fun. So it's just fucking around. So yeah, it'll be great to see you guys. I mean, the funny thing is, considering my background and Wolfie's background, we're not professional at all. It's not a fancy setup. Don't expect to suddenly see like something you'd see on set because this is our away time. It's us fucking around and getting away from work. And so
Right, right.
I'm not someone who's trying to make it big in the industry because I kind of already did that, and now I'm trying to get away from it. So it's like it's the opposite for me. Um, but yeah, look, the other thing I was going to mention is as a producer, if I'm trying to find a chef, what do I look for? So you know how to put yourself forward. a lot of the time we're trying to find matches. So if I have a client who comes to me, so say I'm doing a sports show, say I'm doing the Tour de France, so it's very French. I'm gonna be like, okay, I have a sponsor who is a cheese company. They're a French cheese company. I think there's a French one called President or something, and they want a chef. It's not going to be in the program itself, but in relation to the broadcaster, we're going to put out social 1-minute clips of them using recipes to do with this cheese. We'll tie it in cleverly with the Tour de France, like different regions that they're cycling through. We'll have different cheese recipes that are based off of that kind of area and highlights another thing, like, oh, this is a vineyard region, so let's do something grapes or wine, or pairing with wine. So it's like you find a way as a producer to creatively match it in. So a lot of the times, by the time someone approaches you, the producer has already pitched the idea. They're that far into the
Right.
pitches, you don't have that much of an influence. You can definitely throw stuff out there, but what I'm looking for is a recipe creator. And that's something to think about. If you're ever making a site, because sites are going to be the way I probably find you, that will be my first step. Have a look into recipe writers. It's a really interesting angle to get yourself in and have someone find you instead. Is that ability to take any product. This is where the fact that you have already used some products on social and you have had them featured by those social teams that I mentioned earlier. So, say you've already got a bunch of clips on your site of you using whatever product, WizFizz. I don't fucking know. I'm not sure if you guys even have WizFizz. It's like a kid's lolly, but you
No.
tagging okay, Cadbury. Okay, so you've tagged in Cadbury. They're probably too big, they probably don't give a shit about you, but hey, give it a go.
Mm.
And you have created some kind of recipe. Go for the small food product kind of places, especially the niche ones, and they'll really appreciate you. So you've made something, you're like, I'm a chef, I'm going to use this product this week, I've been really interested in it for the following reasons. You can go to them here and find out more about them. You have done all the particular product placement. So every time you place it on the set, you always have the label facing forward. You have put it into the recipe quite cleverly. So it's enhancing something about that they are boast about in their advertising. Like they might be like, this is really healthy and low calorie. So you're like, okay, well, we've made a low calorie bar to go with it because that's what they're really boasting and that's their key audience, is they're obviously going for the health freaks. So it's like, okay, well, if you make a recipe that's really high calorie, they're probably not going to feature it as much. So have a look at what the product's main key selling points is and then kind of like feed into that a bit. And then you're appealing to their audience and they'll want to share it more. So if you get a big collection of those going, you can then create a site and then you can start boasting that you're a recipe writer, that you know how to feature products and whatever you are looking for as a producer or a sponsor or creating content, you can create recipes for them. So you might not be featured directly and you can certainly boast yourself in different ways as a presenter. But sometimes a lot of people are looking for people for blogs. So this is where you kind of start thinking outside the box because we become so focused on TV. There's a lot of food sites out there who just want chefs writing recipes for them. And immediately, because we've downgraded a little bit, it doesn't matter who you are. You've got chef in front of your name. And immediately people just become enamored with that. It's like, oh, this is written by a chef. And then you have your little blog at the bottom of wherever you're working at the time. So that's where you can start setting up your site with some of the examples of working with sponsors, and now suddenly you're a recipe writer. So I did a quick Google this morning and there's someone called Cassie Best that came up. Just have a look, recipe writers, and how they're laying out their sites. And you can kind of like base the SEO kind of what they're doing. And that's where you can kind of start putting yourself in the way of being discovered. Hopefully someone is going to come across you. And now you're offering a service that's a bit more usable. Instead of you going, I want to be on a TV show, which is like quite full on to put yourself out there from scratch. Instead, you're starting to build that name and portfolio a little bit, and you're offering a service that suddenly people really want. As a producer, I don't really care who you are. As long as you can write a recipe for me and you're a chef, that's great. I can immediately go to my client and be like, I have the following chefs that you can choose from, and they can make recipes with your product, and then we can put them on our site and we can do various things with them. So that's another idea to think about. A step
I
further as
love
like a
that.
heads up. Yeah. See, this is kind of like the
Because
things
that
that
because
we don't think about.
it just gave me so many ideas because especially for like if I want to keep it local, like there's wines and vineyards here in New York. So
Yeah.
it's like I could start cooking with different wines or
Yeah.
Yancey Fancy Cheese is right here
Yep.
locally in Buffalo. I
Yeah.
could start fucking with their cheeses and be like, "Hey, I'm showcasing this cheese today." Like blah 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 blah.
Exactly. And
I
they love
love it.
locals. They love locals because suddenly,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being like trying to put yourself on an international stage, you're a local chef. That's really cool. You can make yourself a local celebrity like that. That
Right,
works
right.
really well. And as soon as you start switching that expectation of people should pay me for what I do before I do it, and it's like, honey, you're no one. No one's gonna pay you. But as soon if you kind of go, I value someone sharing me, and I just do this because I'm passionate, and then you start looking for little local opportunities and you go for the smaller companies who are just really appreciative of being supported, and you do that for free, they're going to share you. They're going to be like, that's so cool. Thank you so much for doing that for us. And if you switch your mindset and be like, hey, as a chef, I'm going to start looking for local produce and support them. And I'm going to start talking about their products more. And I'm going to recommend them to where I work. And then suddenly you're kind of switching into a story as well. And like, hey, now you've got a bit of a story going on. Hey guys, today I traveled out to this local farm and this local producer, and I did a little interview with him. And wow, suddenly you're creating a bit of a story around yourself and people are starting to talk about you. So it's that kind of like switch of mindset. The thing I am going to mention that I think a lot of food and drink people know about is get your photography skills up to scratch. That's really going to
Yep.
come in handy.
I've been working on that shit too.
Yeah, and that's something you kind of never expect to have to do because you are a one man band. And it's interesting. I saw
Yeah.
a comment the other day where someone was like, I'm a Twitch streamer. I have to do everything myself, and it's really hard compared to those fancy people on TV who have like a cast of 50 people running around after them. And it's quite funny because actually all the shoots I've done are really tiny. So we have the chef, the talent. We have a camera guy who's usually slash lighting as well, and a camera assistant. We have a soundy. We have me as a producer, sometimes producer slash director if we're quite small, or we have another director, and we'll have like a gopher of some sort, like an assistant. So there's usually like 6 or 7 people, and we're traveling quite small. So if and then like you'll do the shoot where they go out, like we'll use the example we did earlier. So they go out, they meet the local producer, and they have a small interview, and they have a look at the setup, and they talk about what they're doing, and then we'll hire probably like an Airbnb kitchen to do the actual recipe. That doesn't always happen. We've had some very funny situations where we made one chef. You think that they're having a great time. Most of the time, chefs are really miserable on set. I'll tell you now. Because the director will be like, here's this beautiful scenery in the middle of Tasmania. This actually happened with all the rolling hills in the background. So we're going to get you to squat on this little box in the middle of this farm with this beautiful scenery in the background. And on a box in front, we're going to set up your little camp stove. And we need you to make an amazing dish. And the chef's like, fucking what? Yes, we need the recipe you came up with. We
Fucking
need
what?
you to do it with this beautiful scenery behind. So this poor chef is like squatted down on a fucking box. And then he's like, does anyone have like even a fucking spoon? Like, do I have anything? So this guy, he didn't have all his proper tools and he had to put butter in the pan. And so it was genius. He's like, okay, fine, I'll twist it so that we're really rural. We're in a farm, right? So he's like, sometimes you just got to really get into your food. So just grab that butter and tear it off and just throw it in your pan. Yeah, I feel really connected to the food. So ad
Funny as
libbing
fuck.
is super important, right? So because you're going to
Funny
be
as
put
fuck.
in the most unexpected situations sometimes, and you just have to fucking cook. So you need to be really good at positively ad libbing because you're not a famous person who can be like, excuse me, I'm this famous person. Where the fuck's that's not going to happen? So you're going to be squatting on a
Yeah.
box, ripping butter off with your hand, and then using your buttery hand to try and cook the rest of your thing to get that beautiful shot that the director wants in the background, while the assistant is trying to keep that cow off on the left hand side. Like
Mm.
this is the situations you get in, and that's
It's
like a
fucking like
professional shoot that was a full
right,
program, because when you're doing travel shows you're in a really tiny crew moving around, and if you're trying to create that journey and that story, all the and it's usually done slightly separately, so that's the other thing, is learning how to shoot disconnected if you're going to do something like that. So it's like you go out and you'll explore all these scenes, and then sometimes you've pre-shot all those stories, and then you'll come back and you'll do everything in your kitchen, but you're editing it in a way where you show the story and pretend like then you're going back to your kitchen and creating it. So there's also a lot of
right.
disconnect that can kind of happen sometimes, but it's more about creating the story for the audience. So you're not tricking them, you're trying to keep them in that story mode and take them on that journey, even though you're doing things really disconnected. So
Yeah.
it made me chuckle a bit, this idea of TV people have this cast of thousands, and it's like, nah, it's just some guy chasing a cow and someone else ripping butter off in front of beautiful scenery. Like that's
Mm.
that's what it is most of the time.
I
So
love it.
it's it's not always
I also
enjoyable. I'll put it
I
that way.
al- I also find it funny because like I'm the chef that always like I use the company tools, right? But I have my own
Yeah,
bag that stays in the car of my own personal knives, my own personal
Same.
spoons, my own
always
personal
the knife.
I
um
Yes.
actually I actually have
like
mine in a
all
200 hotel
all
pan.
like all my
Nice.
personal shit. Like I keep it on deck. I mean, so for that kind of situation, I'd be like, give me a minute, be right back.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be
Let me go
right
get
back. Gotta go
let
get.
me go
I
grab
gotta
my
go get my
shit.
stuff. It's true. It's true. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's where it's like, what skills do you need as a chef as you start to expand yourself into
The
this
trauma,
area? So
yes.
Twitch is really good because you're getting used to ad libbing. You guys are naturally used to just talking all the time, talking shit about whatever. You can go in whatever direction. You can fill airtime. We get very good at filling blank space, and that's a really good skill. But then there's the opposite of being able to read and memorize a script. So a lot of the times, if you're getting to the point of sponsorship while standing in that field, so not with a teleprompt or any of that, there might be a 15-second piece to camera that you might have to deliver, like about the
Mhm.
program or about the product that you're doing. Like the sponsor might be like, I really want a clip of you to put on social about you loving our cheese. And so it's like,
Mhm.
and they might give you a script for that. So it's like just being able to memorize, it's never more than like probably 20 seconds, but just having that ability to just memorize and be able to speak properly and enunciate properly while
Mhm.
sounding passionate is kind of important if you want to get to that point, and sounding like you believe it. So a lot of content creators really fall over in this area. They try to make it a joke thing, or they get quite embarrassed about the fact that they're with a sponsor. That's really awkward for a sponsor to have to watch as well. So, when they're like, "Oh, sorry guys, now we have to do the sponsor message." Lol. Okay, let me just read this out. So you've
Right.
ticked
A
off
lot of people do
connecting
that.
with your audience, but you've also completely
Yo,
you've
look at me
made a
puff.
dismissive
Oh,
joke.
thank you,
You've
Puff.
made a dismissive joke with your audience, so none of them are going to buy it. None of them are going to
Right.
be
No,
interested in it. And it's kind of awkward
not
for
at
the
all.
sponsor because they're like, do you want to do this or not? Like, this is really awkward.
Right.
Like, so yeah, there's definitely
Mhm.
an amount of, hey, to connect with this audience, I'd like to edit the script just a little bit. Like, we have an in joke that really relates to this. So you're trying to, as an integration producer, I was always trying to find clever ways to tie in the product with the audience so that it appeals to them in a natural way. So that's your job as a talent, is you can look at the product and you know your audience. It's really important to know your audience, what they're into. You can do a simple little survey with your audience and be like, what do you guys really love about the show? How often do you actually cook? Like, get an audience profile so that you can talk to potential sponsors about that as well, so that you really know them.
Right.
And then that helps you know how to talk to your audience. Like you know what they do and don't like. This is where the idea of taking any sponsor and feeling like a sellout can get a little bit difficult. Like, you know, immediately if you like, my audience are going to hate this. And then you got to ask you the question of, is it worth it doing it then? Like, if I'm telling the sponsor, oh, yeah, no, we can do it, it would be great, but I know my audience are just not going to be interested in this at all, that kind of hurts your brand as well. And it
Right.
means they're not going to want to approach you again. And
And
it's a
that's
small
kind of
world.
why, and that's kind of why I've always had the belief like anything that I'm going to sponsor or be in part sponsored with, I got to
Yeah.
believe in the product. Like I have to
Yeah,
fuck with the
Yeah.
product myself in order
100%.
to sell it.
Totally.
Like because
Totally.
if
And
it's
this,
something that I'm not
yeah.
personally going to use, like why the fuck would I even sell it to begin with?
No, and you can tell, like, this is the huge difference between someone who is genuinely passionate about a product, and you can see this in a content creator. They'll be like, "Hey guys, like I know this is a sponsor, but genuinely, I love it for the following reasons, and I've been using it for this and this and this." Like you can tell because they are connected to it and they start talking about it, and it's really genuine. Compared to the
Right.
other content creator who has obviously memorized the script and might deliver it really well, but then they kind of move on. So that's not true integration. That's just an
Right.
ad placement. So you're trying it when you to be a really good talent is you're actually integrating something very organically, as we call it, into the content. And that is like a dream for sponsors, is because that is going to connect with the audience way more than what we call a logo slap, for example. You get a lot of people who they're like, oh, just put the logo somewhere on the screen. People are so used to logo slapping now that they drown it out. In fact, most millennials in particular hate anything to do with sponsorship and that kind of stuff. They will deliberately avoid that person because there's a logo slap and they don't like it. So it gets compared to, say, Gen Z, who are very influencer based. They're about the person. They don't care the product, but if that person's using the product, oh, then I have to use the product as well because
That's so
that's
true.
that's cool. Yeah. So it's like different
Yeah, if nothing else, I'm gonna
generations.
go check it out.
Yeah, and so different generations react in different ways. So that's another reason to know your audience as well, not to typecast all you guys, but just saying it's because of the
Oh no.
environment that different generations grow up in. And so we pick up different reactions to different things. We're taught to trust and react to sponsors in different ways, and then that's how we just automatically react without even thinking. So knowing average age of your audience is really good for you as well because you can tell how they're going to probably react to different forms of sponsors and how you can kind of start to talk to them a bit more genuine. Um, like I can tell immediately of your guys' audiences, like you've already said, if you don't believe in the product, you're a sellout. They're going to react against you, and it's
Oh yeah.
true because you've set up this atmosphere of being very genuine and down to earth, and it's about being honest about your stories and what you go through. So if you're suddenly trying to sell something that goes against something you've said, people are going to be like, "The fuck." Like that's
Right.
really weird. Yeah. But I love your idea about the local stuff going around local. Like that's
I
where
mean,
it's at. I think this is where
I
chefs
mean,
are
I,
a service.
I, yeah, like I immediately thought of that as just a starting point. You know what I mean? Like just somewhere to
Yep.
start with, or something to
Yeah.
start with.
Yeah. And that's it.
So
It's
yeah,
it's
for sure.
finding your story and how you interact beyond the camera with the world around you. And that's like big brain shit, right? You're going to be mulling this for like a month. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always like writing notes on my phone as I go around. I'll suddenly have a moment be like, "Oh yeah, that's really good. I'm going to write that down." It's going to take you a little bit to find a story that's beyond yourself. And then you just have to be passionate in it. You got to do it because you want to. You don't care if no one watches that. It doesn't matter. You can't have a breakdown because, oh, I only got 10 views on this. But you're doing it because you love it. And that's really important because that's going to come through in everything you do. So when people do find you, you're really genuine compared to if that one person
Right.
happens to find you and you look really depressed and sad about what you're doing, they're not going to
Yeah.
stay.
Yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get
For
out of
sure.
there.
Yeah,
For
mood,
sure. And
mood,
that
mood
was
eyes on
that was a
everything.
good point. That was a good point where I had a conversation with Mama's house, and Mama's house is like, she's like, I need to let you know. you know, as your mod, and like you're starting to kind of get like how you talk to your staff sometimes and how you carry yourself in the kitchen, like it comes off almost depressing as fuck. And it's coming off
Yeah.
like you're this dictator asshole, or it's coming off as, you know, like you're not happy in what you do. And she's like, and I'm like, and my other buddy used to tell me all the time, he's like, you're gonna attract the people on Twitch, you're gonna attract the people the same energy you put out. So if you're putting out good energy and you're being real, you're going to attract real people and you're going to attract good
Yeah.
energy. So,
Yeah.
and if you're going to be toxic, you're going to bring in toxic people too. So there's that double-edged sword. And it's like, I don't
Yep.
want that. I don't want toxic fucking people in my streams ever, because I'll just ban click right the fuck away.
Yep.
Um, but it's like that's why I kind of stopped doing the dinner service altogether. And it's like, you know what? I'd rather just do prepping, because that's usually when I'm in the best mood, is when I'm prepping and I'm
Yeah.
setting up and I'm getting things ready and I'm making sure everything's accounted for and everything is good to go. Like that's usually when I'm in my best mood in the kitchen. Dinner service is
Yeah.
stressful. Dinner service is pressure, because at that point in time, I'm worried about putting the right thing on the right plate and making it look good, making it the right temperature,
Worried about your
and
job.
let yeah, doing my job, you know. But
Yeah.
it's like I'm so hyper. I'm as a chef, I'm so hyper focused on that. I'm not paying attention to the stream side of it at all.
Yep.
And like and
Yep.
there's a whole where they're seeing me for me as a chef in that moment. And I'm not always going to be the nicest person that you're going to want to come in and talk to. You know, I'm going to be a douche sometimes. It kind of is what it is. It
Yeah.
goes I want to say it goes with the job, but should it? Not always. Is it going to happen? Yes, it is.
I love that your stream has caused you to reflect on yourself. So it started off as this, hey, I can show a genuine behind the scenes of what's going on.
Mm.
And what they see is what they get because I'm just going to be me and fuck them. And now it's slowly
Right.
turning into, oh shit, but what if what I'm being is actually depressing myself? And then that's actually in turn reflecting on the audience, and then I, because of the audience I'm getting, I get to see a reflection of myself. We have a joke on my channel, and I use it quite lovingly all the time, of every time someone does something mildly annoying, I joke, you get the audience you deserve. But it's kind of true, is like I was a YouTuber before, and was camming on YouTube, and have also done some adult stuff, and I was really bad at banning, of choosing my audience, because I had this real mentality where you become very obsessed with followers and numbers and everyone
Mm-hmm.
is important. And I felt like
Mm-hmm.
every time someone was a dick to me, I just had to be clever about it. I had to be cool, because if I was insulted about it, then that's not cool. Like I should have an answer to everything. I should be water off a duck's back, and I should just not care. All that happened was that sense of humor just grew, and the same type of humor of essentially bagging me out just got bigger and bigger, and everyone thought I was cool with it because I just kept shrugging it off and I kept laughing, and so they thought it was a joke and it was cool. And behind the scenes I was getting more and more depressed, and my self-esteem just started plummeting really, really badly because of the joke that I set up. So there's this really important thing as a content creator of, not only do you have to set out to be someone that you
Be
enjoy
right back.
being, but also you need to curate that audience to be an environment you want to be in as well, and that type of person will also attract similar type of people. So we've been a lot stricter going into Twitch. Like sometimes it's just in good humor and it's cool, but I definitely have a lot more of, you can bag me out once I know you. Like that's different. You can't just come in and just immediately rip into me and be like, "Lol, that's cool. I'm fine with it." It's like, "No, I'm going to ban you because that's not the atmosphere I want."
I love
Um
that streamers have been doing that more recently.
yeah, because
It's
it's not
it's
about the numbers.
yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. Like,
Don't
fuck
be
the
a dick.
numbers. Yeah, and this is the problem is a lot of people are like, they're a dick and I'm really unhappy right now and I'll kind of do a warning, but I'm not going to ban them because then I'm going to lose a number and I'm almost at my goal.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're just
No
making yourself more
excuses.
miserable. Like,
Yep.
don't do that. But there was a chef which I'll keep unnamed, but I was chatting to them on set once, and it was really interesting because they had to really rebrand themselves and come back because they were part of that very old school chefs yell and that's funny to watch because I'm berating people and they're crying and that's funny, that's entertainment. um and they were like, I remember saying to me, they were like, imagine waking up and you're actually in a good mood for once and it's a really beautiful day, but then you have to go and pretend to be angry at people and ruin their lives. And that was the character I had created. And that was me at the beginning. But then I kind of slowly got happier. Like, because of the TV series, I left my job and I got out of that place. But I had to keep being that character that I wasn't anymore. And so I just got more and more depressed that every day I had to go from having a good time and then make myself an angry person for entertainment. And so they ended up pulling away and having a really long time away before they're like, I'm going to come back into it, but from a different angle. And they had to work hard to rebrand themselves. But it's just a really interesting thing as well. Like, there's a lot of content creators where that whole ranting, loud, angry personality is entertainment. That's what they become. So we talked about, make it beyond yourself, have a story. The flip side is when you do create a character, which a lot of streamers do, that's your character now. And you're expected to be that character. You're forcing something on yourself. So every time we're like, oh, I'm just being my genuine self, just kind of be aware of what you're creating in yourself as well, because you need to stay happy, otherwise you're going to burn out. And that's way more important than success.
Absolutely. Razin, to briefly touch on what you said, uh, bruh. First of all, second of all, I used to play this game called Hey HR, is this okay? I play that game all the time because one of the head of HRs, uh, her son is or was one of my servers. He ultimately sucked so bad we had to transfer him over to the main building and get someone else because we just got fed up with it. But you can't always do that. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to walk that fine line of, hey, I need you to do your job. Can you do that? Yes or no? And then go from there, which I've been really trying to
That's
work on
hilarious.
myself, which is, it's hard sometimes because you really just want to cuss somebody the fuck out. But then you're like, I can't really cuss this motherfucker out the way I want to. Son of a bitch. Like,
I like my job right now because I can just go in and cook and leave, and it's no stress at all. It's such a good change of
Nice.
pace. Oh man,
Nice.
I go in nine to
you know,
four, 9 to 5 the latest. I work the bank schedule, prep a bunch of food
hmm
all day. Don't have to worry about nobody, and I go home.
Bliss.
Yeah, it's so good.
like,
Bliss.
It's so
oh,
good.
that reminds me. Have you worked out a fucking schedule yet or what?
So it seems like Mondays have been my consistent day off, but I don't have a set schedule yet. They have not. I've been trying to work one out, and they haven't given me one. But lately, like every week, I have Monday off. Like I have Monday off tomorrow,
Okay,
tomorrow off, and then I have next Monday off. It
okay,
seems like Monday's been pretty consistent.
okay. And let me know. Let me know about that if they ever decide to change that on you. And like,
Yeah,
because I want it like I've always said with anything in the streamer world, it's consistency, right? So it's
correct,
like having a consistent day and time is when people are going to show. You know, it's like
correct.
It's like we've been building this for so long on Sunday. It's what 15, 16 episodes deep now. On
Yeah.
Sunday nights at 9:30, this is what we do. Chef Talk podcast every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. And we're just drilling it into people. So it's like that's what they expect now is the podcast to
It's
be on
true.
Sunday at 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Especially for your regulars that come through. Like they love that consistency because I've noticed I do it myself. I support certain people on certain days and times. Like I know it's like I want to be there for this person no matter what because I know that that's their stream schedule. So it's like I'm not going to be there for all their streams, but if I can at least be there for one or two of them, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I'm trying to think
And
of
it's
other things. Because yeah, schedule is like
mhm.
It's
consistency.
something we always talk about. Is trying to keep it consistent.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. When we first started, we were just all over the place because we didn't think we were gonna last long, so we just streamed whenever the fuck we felt like it. And we didn't really grow that fast. And then as soon as we like had a set schedule, then it's like it's cool. You see the same people coming all the time because that becomes their routine as well. So it's like
Channy.
really nice to see them.
What's good, bro? Good to
Like
see you, Channy.
this.
Exactly. And you know what? It's like I really want to keep this going because it's been building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
it's been a progression. I really want to start going back and doing like reruns at some point on a different day and time. And I want to be able to clear up my schedule a little bit to be able to do that. And then I think that will be even more for us now because it's people will be able to see it from the start because our first couple of podcasts together, like there was a lot of informational shit being tossed out
That
about
was.
about the chef life and the industry and what we go through
Yeah.
and what we talk about and how we handle things and how we blah 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 on and on and on. Like I want to say the first three podcasts were like that. And it's like those were a very firm starting point for us because
Correct.
Yeah.
we laid it all out there right away. It's like we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to bullshit. It is what it is.
Nice. Yeah. It's interesting content though. That's what people want to hear about. So
Yep.
that's really cool.
And I appreciate it. And I thank you for saying that because it just, like I said, it helps me confirm I'm doing things how I should be doing, or I'm comfortable with what I'm doing and it's working.
Yeah, yeah. It was working. Yeah. No, you can tell as well. No, I'm really happy for you guys and thank you for having me as well as a
Thank you.
well I think of
Absolutely.
it.
We're
It's been a
not
great
done
change of
yet. We still
pace
got like
too.
another hour to go.
I know. And look, I got more stuff. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure I could think of something. I was just thinking, as a funny one, I'll tell you my French fries story.
Oh, okay.
So the funny thing with producers and chefs is, and I say this with a grin, knowing that it's insulting, is that from an audience point of view, chefs can be boring. But they think because they're so passionate about food that they're being really exciting because they get really focused on their own subject. There was a hilarious meeting I was in where I was quite inappropriate, where we were doing a French series. So I was in there because we had a French product on board. We had a French chef. He was Australian, but he was very, very French. And we were doing a traveling food series through France. And the executive producer was just sitting. They were very grumpy. They were just kind of at the back of the room. They were leaning their chair back up against the wall. Something was up with them. I was late to the meeting, so I didn't quite know what was going on. But they were going through. It was at the point where we were trying to decide on all the recipes that were going to be featured as they'd gone around. The talent was not in the room. and the talent had put forward all the recipes that they were really excited about. And as we were going through the recipes, the executive producer just suddenly slams his hand on the table and he's like, "Do you know what he fucking cooked last week on show? Do you know what he fucking cooked?" And everyone's like, no. And he's like, "French fries. Fucking French fries." He thought it was exciting because it's French and it's fries. It's not fucking exciting. We had to somehow pad out a 15-minute episode of a guy just slicing fucking potatoes and frying them. And I had to make that fucking exciting. And he thought it was a great idea. And we were like, holy fuck. And everyone's just staring at this guy. And I just start crying with laughter. So it was like really inappropriate. But I just thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever fucking heard.
Fucking fries.
So there's fucking French fries. Do we fucking cooked? Fucking French fries. But to him, like to the chef, he's like, this is genius. I'm in France. I can talk about are French fries actually French and give like the whole, because he's really passionate about the subject. So there's definitely something around having people around you because you get so passionate about the subject of food, and to a chef it's really interesting. Why are French fries called French fries and they're French and blah blah blah. To a producer, it's a guy slicing up a bunch of fucking potatoes and then frying them, and somehow we have to make it exciting. So it's like, when you're making content, you've always got to think about the flip side of what you're doing on the stream that's exciting, and whether it's actually exciting to those people or not. And it's a really funny thing where chefs are actually great personalities, but what they find really interesting and what the audience finds really interesting can be really split.
Don't.
So you got to have a check-in. Yeah. So have a check-in, and not with other chefs, because they're going to be like, that's awesome. I've always wondered the same thing. And you can talk about some detail about growing potatoes and how fascinating growing potatoes is in France. To you, that's fascinating, but to the audience, like, it's a really hard job on the producer who now has to make potatoes really fucking exciting.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up. I remember an episode, it was like a behind the scenes about Emerald and why he started doing the boom shit.
Oh yeah.
Where because he was sitting there cooking and doing something and talking about it, and he looks up into the what do you want to call it? What's it called? The audience. Okay?
Oh yeah.
And half the audience is sitting there fucking sleep. So he goes, boom, to wake them all up.
Is that why? It's really funny. And it's like my mum used to say to me, she'd like insult me and then be like, only a mother would tell you. So here you go. Only a producer will tell you that sometimes chefs are boring. And you need, as you say, you need a goddamn roommate or something, or a friend to be like, no man, that sucks. And it's true. And it's because when you become a passion subject, that I have the same thing with scientists. Scientists will like fucking go off on this crazy ass spiel with all these words that we don't know.
Yeah.
And they get so passionate, and the audience is sitting there like, the fuck is this guy? I'm going to pretend I'm concentrating because I want to look really intellectual, so I'm going to nod along, but I actually don't know. And so the guys watching, the audience going, they're nodding, they get it. They're really into what I'm saying. So it's that disconnect that you've got to learn with your audience as well, because people are really polite as well, and they're going to be like, French fries, that's a great idea. So you need that honest friend. And it's not an insult. It's because you're really passionate about what you do, and you love that intricate detail in the gastronomy, and that's why you do what you do. But it's like, how do you make what's interesting for you interesting for the audience? And sometimes you're going to end up doing stuff as talent that you don't think is that interesting. You're like, this is really basic shit. Like, why do I want to talk about the mother sauces again? Like, this is shit I learned ages ago. But to someone who doesn't know anything about cooking, they're like, oh, I can finally understand what this shit is. Like, the most common thing that comes up as a request on our channel is knife skills. Like, to a chef, it's like, it's just me doing my job. I'm just cutting a fucking potato. But to the people who don't know anything, they're like, how do you chop so fast? That's so cool.
And all the time.
All the time. So it's really interesting of like,
which is crazy.
That's like my niche. I'm really, really good with a knife.
Like I'm good with a knife, but I'm still or not still, but I'm at that point where the one hand is the carpal tunnel is starting to come back, and the other one,
Yeah.
it's like the carpal tunnel is there, but I'm not trying to have surgery yet, type shit. So it's
Oh,
like when
yeah.
I cut stuff, I cut it real slow. I'm taking my time, and people are like,
Yeah.
not 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 people as in on stream, but you know, one of my other cooks is like, dude, you're taking a long time to cut that. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Adam Liao. I feel like it was him. It was him or Luke Newman. I think it was Adam Liao. I mainly know Australian chefs, so anyone who's American here is like, who the fuck are these people? But I work with Australian chefs. He got bagged out by Uncle Roger because he cut so slowly compared to other chefs. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? And he's like, I like taking my time. I don't like being rushed. I enjoy
Mhm.
connecting with what I'm doing. And Uncle Roger's like, why are you so fucking slow? So it's funny, those expectations
I'm sorry,
of the
when I got
chef
20 things to
stereotype.
do, I got 20
Yeah.
things to do. I don't got time to be taking time on my onion. Like, we're dicing it. We're getting it done. We're moving on.
It's it's
See,
it's
and
because
that's
he's
where
loaded
usually
and
for
he's
me
talent now. He
personally,
can take his time.
and it's usually for that's usually the point for me personally. It's like I have someone else do all the cutting and chopping. I'm making the sauces. I'm doing all the
That's
other
fair.
shit that I want done the way I want it. You know, like I'm making my own house red sauce. I'm making the demi, so on and so forth. Some of the soups, shit like that. But I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to
yeah.
cut this. You're gonna cut this for me, and then I'm gonna make it. Okay, good deal.
That is a good deal. It kind of makes me think though, like the fact that our audiences are like the knife thing is so cool. Going back to what we were saying earlier, where a lot of chefs are like, I want to teach people to cook. In reality, cooking shows are a spectator sport. It's the
Hmm.
same as sport. Like a lot of people who really enjoy sport, they don't want to go out and play cricket. They just want to sit there and drink and watch cricket. It's really common that a lot of people who watch sport don't play the sport themselves. They might eventually get inspired if they're younger and still want
Andy,
to. They might go
yo,
out and
What's
play a
welcome
up,
little
in.
bit.
Andy? What are we doing, Andy?
Good to see you,
Howdy.
bro. Where's your
But
partner
it's
check? What the fuck?
oh
Andy, what happened to your check mark, bro? Why don't I see it?
oh wow. Is it just sometimes the badges disappear?
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's there. It's there. It's there. Sometimes the badges. I have this issue because I'm an artist for channels, and I'll go in and be like, "Where's my artist badge?" And sometimes
Mm,
Twitch just feels like removing it for absolutely no reason. It's still there in the
right, that's
background.
weird.
Oh, I don't
I
default
don't
to it.
default to it. Oh, got you. Respect. I
Maybe
respect that. I love that
maybe
about
being
that dude, Andy.
sneaky.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things I love about Andy. If you guys don't know Andy, go check him out. He is probably one of the most coolest, humblest, awesome guys to hang out with. I've had him on previous podcasts before. He is he's awesome. I can't say enough good things about Andy. Andy's cool people.
That's really cool. Um, yeah, it's really funny that sport is accepted as being a spectator sport. Like it's where it's come from. But the idea of cooking being a spectator sport, I think, is quite new. But that's kind of what's slowly happening with traditional format cooking shows and now Twitch as well. People really enjoy watching, and so it's interesting that we still have that expectation as hosts of teaching people to cook. But it's like, what if you remove that expectation
Mhm.
and allow them to just enjoy the spectacle of cooking? I think some people
Right.
will feel uncomfortable with that because they're like, well, I don't want to feel like I'm in a zoo with people watching me do my job. Like, that's kind of fucking weird. But at the same time, it's like if you start to allow the fact that they just enjoy being part of it, that
Wait,
maybe
wait.
for whatever
Is
reason
that
they
a
don't want to or
mushroom
can't.
dancing?
It is.
Sure
Oh
fucking
my
is.
god.
Shroom dance.
Mushroom dance. Love it. That's dope.
If they don't feed the live studio audience, dude, I wish. God, I wish. That was the worst thing of being stuck in really cold sets and you're just watching people cook and smelling it and you're like, I'm so hungry. Like, there was usually at the end of set.
And then there's us, the ones that are
people would
cooking and
go
that are
try
so
some.
sick of smelling it, we're not hungry by the time we're done
Yeah,
cooking it.
you're like completely over it.
Yeah,
But
I'm done with this shit.
yeah, it's an interesting angle to think about, especially on Twitch, and especially if you want to start
Love it, Doom.
reaching a wider audience. Because if you're just trying to reach people
Yo.
you want to teach, it's a much smaller audience compared to if you accept it as a spectator sport. It starts to get a little bit interesting, and this is where trends on TikTok and YouTube, you can kind of see where cooking is going, because suddenly it's more
Hmm.
about like food challenges and vlogs and reviews, and it's not
Yep.
actually about cooking as much. Like, cooking is becoming a subject instead of an activity, and it's starting to
Right.
expand a lot as a category. And I think that's why on Twitch food and drink has always really struggled a lot, is because it's only focusing usually on I'm cooking something. Whereas as you start
Right.
expanding it into a passion and the stories, the way that now TV content is going, because they're out of ideas, so they're being forced to think of new things. And that's where they're starting to push into new areas. And over on TikTok, because it's becoming a category that's a passion, that's how they do food, you're starting to get more interesting content that's being created outside of that by some people who can't even cook, and
And
that's
what's
becoming
funny
a
is,
trend.
right, exactly, and that's that drives me nuts. First of all, but that also makes a lot of sense in the
Yeah,
same idea because look at Kanara. Like
yeah,
she's cooking, but the whole time she's cooking, she's telling, I can't even count how many different stories about
yeah,
different things and then dropping knowledge on different things that she's doing. And I'm just like,
yeah,
huh,
yeah,
okay. And that's what's made her a successful um food and drink streamer is because she's also telling stories along with her cooking at the time.
yeah, yeah. No, it's true. Stories is a huge part of it. Um, the other thing that's kind of a little bizarre from a streamer point of view, unless you're doing in real life, but kind of makes sense. The big connection with food on broadcast is travel. Food and travel go very hand in hand. It's the
Hmm.
aspirational thing. A lot of people, when they want to travel, they want to eat.
Right.
It's
Yep.
like they want to eat in different locations. Like, they want to see
Right.
the sights and then they want to eat the local
Right.
food. And it's
And
why
it's
you
like
get a lot of people. Yeah.
where's that spot to check out? I want to see his stream because he goes there. So where does he stop to go eat and tell us about the food
Yep.
there so that when I go there, I'm gonna go check out that same spot.
Yep. Yep. No, it's really true. And this is where the hand in hand with travel creates stories that we're talking about as well. It's very easy as soon as you kind of put travel and food together to find the journey that we're talking about. So that's why it comes up a lot. So it's why a lot of travel shows will always feature food. A lot of sports that is traveling will automatically include the country that you're in and the food. Like, it just goes really hand in hand. um and it's something to think about. It's a little bit more difficult unless you're doing in real life, but that's something you can bring into your kitchen as well. There's probably some
Right.
creative ways, and it starts tapping into a larger audience, especially on social with tagging as well. Of, if you accept food is a spectator sport, then you can start tapping into other categories, because suddenly you're not just talking to a niche audience of I'm aiming at people who want to learn how to cook. As soon as you go, I'm aiming at people who are passionate about food and food related stories, that starts expanding and you start going into other categories like travel, because it's such an aspirational thing. you can start tagging in that category as well and being like, well, today we're focusing on Italy. Here's a story about my trip to Italy and what I discovered with some photos and blah, blah, blah. Or, maybe to do with my ancestry. And then you can kind of tap into that field of aspiration, and start going into different categories of what you're doing
See,
and
but that's
get
the
a wider
great
audience.
resin. I love what you're saying. And here's my answer to that is as a chef and being a chef and someone who's so into food, like I'm gonna actually go talk to the people that made the food or try to talk to them people or talk to the locals or people that are the servers or anything like that and be like, hey, um tell me more about this. How did y'all make this? How did this come about?
Yeah.
Give me more
Yeah.
information. Because as someone who's a chef, we're sitting there and we're already, as we're eating something, we're breaking down in our minds what's in it. And we do it all the time without even thinking about it anymore because we've done food for so long in our lives. So it's like I can already name probably half of the stuff that's already in that dish, but I'm gonna want to know the little ins and outs of how you made that dish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's where I get to firsthand learn more because then I'm gonna bring that technique back home and I'm gonna try doing the exact same thing that I just had at that island or at China or Europe or wherever or
Yep.
India. And I'm gonna bring it
Exactly.
back home and try making that.
The harder
Yep.
part is finding the ingredients that match, especially when the
That's
cuisine is so different.
right. And
That.
And that's when you
that
have
is
to
what
tap into
sometimes
your
Yeah.
national grocery stores and stuff like that, and like
Yep.
yep.
try to find what you need.
It's also a reason why a lot of people enjoy following local chefs is because they're bringing the world back home.
Yeah,
And so they figure out the hard part for you. And then as the local, you can then go experience it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's two other things in that as well. Like the same way podcasts. It's funny because my group's about to launch a podcast as well, and it's like another fucking streamer doing another fucking podcast. But it does work for growth because what happens is you bring in a guest, and that audience of that guest is excited because they get to learn more about the person that they like, and so you guys get a lot of
Yes.
follows because you're bringing in constantly new audiences from elsewhere into your environment.
Yep.
And the same thing kind of works with what you're saying is if you start connecting with other producers, as in food producers and local food producers, people who are passionate about that product is going to come into you because they get to see something they're passionate about being used by a professional. And so as soon as you start expanding yourself, instead of focusing on just staying in your own environment, as soon as you start going out there in the same way as you do in a podcast, in real life as a chef, and start connecting with different audiences and different brands that people love, you're going to bring in those audiences as well. And they're going to start to get to know you as a chef. It's
yep,
exactly the same concept.
Oh yeah. For sure. And I love that we do this because it brings in okay, so when the whole idea, right, behind doing a podcast with guest streamers,
Mm.
um, people who also stream on Twitch, who are also even the gamers, they're like, we're getting to see them in a different aspect of their normality on Twitch because their normality is
Yeah.
sometimes just gaming. So it's like,
yeah.
oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even know you were a fucking chef. What the fuck? Right
Yep.
hand, right here, Smokey. Didn't even know he was a fucking chef till we started
I
talking
keep
about it the one day.
my
Yep.
profession is my profession. As far as everyone's
Yep.
aware, I'm just a gamer.
I'm
But
just a
like
gamer.
anyone, the first giveaway is this. This is always the first day giveaway. Anyone that actually sees it and it enters like on stream, they start asking, and then
Oh
usually
wait,
they end
hang
up
on a
finding.
second. Why? Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
It's even like me. Like as well, I was a bit anxious walking in is because I don't talk about what I do on stream. Like I've really separated it. So a lot
Mhm.
of my guys, unless I hang out a lot, they don't realize what I do. So
Yeah.
everything I've been saying on this stream is like really new information to them because, like you said,
Yes.
like that's my profession. It's really separated. So yeah, it does start crossing over. It's really interesting.
But then, just
But
like you
it
said,
made
like bringing in,
mm,
like by bringing you in, some of your communities coming in to see you in that different light. And then now they're also
yeah,
meeting
yeah,
me and Smokey and
yeah,
getting to know us as well. So they're like, okay, let me check this out. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let me
yep,
jump in next time and see who they have in next.
Yep.
yep, exactly. No, exactly, you're right. Because they've had a really good experience and they enjoyed connecting and they got to meet you
Hmm.
guys as hosts and they enjoy the vibe so that they stay. No, it's really true, and it's why it's interesting getting into podcasts and I've done some podcasts professionally as well. With that kind of format, it most of the time the hosts will get the followers of the guests and people will stay. The guest won't get as much in return, which is interesting. It's one of those kind
True.
of like
True.
things. Yeah. But what the guest gets out of it is their audience get really excited and they get to bond a lot more with that person because they've learned a different side of them. And so they get
That's it.
recommended by their own audience and grow in a different way elsewhere is kind of what
Right.
happens by going
Oh yeah.
through that.
It happened a couple episodes
Oh yeah.
ago where some of these viewers, were in here and they were like learning stuff that they had no idea about because it's just a totally different atmosphere.
He's like, I'm
Yeah,
so high, I
yeah,
just
yeah,
talked to your bot.
exposing them.
Fucking chaos. Oh,
This fucking dude.
Big facts.
bruh. Bruh.
That's
Talk
so
to sous chef all
hilarious.
you like, bro. He's there for you.
Holy. Nice. Nice, nice.
It's like a new
Oh
level.
shit. I
Damn
love
it,
it.
It's
Scooby.
so
Damn it,
funny.
Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you?
Fuck, that's so funny.
Go get a fucking snack.
That was great.
Harassing.
Oh my
Rourke,
god.
Shaggy.
Get a snack!
Raggy.
Dude, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna make pasta after this.
Yeah. Well, what kind of pasta? Now. Okay, come on.
It's called whatever the fuck I have in my fridge. No,
Yes.
Hey,
Kitchen sink
hey.
pasta.
kitchen sink pasta.
I
Yeah,
have come
yeah.
up with plenty of dishes by doing that. I'll tell you that
Oh
right now.
yeah, that's how I live. Is like I open the fridge and I stand there for a while and I eye certain ingredients, putting them together in my head, and then I go, right,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're having. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
yet is the answer. It's gonna
Okay,
be a
heard.
surprise to
Valid.
me as well. It's gonna because I can't remember what's in there, so it's gonna be a
I
surprise
love
to
it.
everyone what I end up eating. But I do prefer creamy. I like creamy bases over tomato bases.
Same.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
See, and that
Or
really
roasted
can
red
go either
pepper.
way because I know
Mm.
other people that like it the other way around too, which
Yeah,
is it's
yeah,
I
no.
guess to me it's a matter of the acidity of the like a tomato based sauce versus a
Yeah.
cream based sauce.
Yeah, correct.
So
Vodka
It
sauces are
there's
like
always
yeah.
lush sauces are nice. You want like a good balance.
I would say what?
I
Say it
like
again?
I do like
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
blush
blush.
sauce or a vodka sauce. You
Yeah.
kind of
Oh
get that
yeah,
balance of the
vodka.
red and the
Yeah,
Both.
yeah.
creamy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
and it helps
I
balance the
do like
acid.
the creamy tomato. That
Or
does
Yeah,
help.
blush, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It's based on my. It's not just what I have. It's also like how I feel at the time. The different levels of nausea, where you're like,
Mm.
is too much cream in my life not gonna work, or is too much acidity in my life not gonna work?
yeah.
So I'm listening to the pH balance of my body of what I'm about to
Is it
Facts.
the
stuff my
pH
face with.
balance? I love it.
Vodka sauce on pizza is so good. I agree.
Mm.
Oh
Definitely agree.
yeah. Vodka sauce I discovered more as I made friends with more Americans. It's a very American Italian
Yes.
thing, and so I
Yes.
just wasn't
Yes.
exposed to it. Like we have
Very much so.
Australian Italian over here. That's a lot more what we call the palmy, like the Parmigiana in the pub, is really massive over
Okay.
here because of
Okay.
Australian Italians.
Okay.
But yeah, vodka sauce was like a whole discovery for me. I was like, oh my god, what is this magical sauce? I was so
You've never
confused. I was
had
like, is it
vodka
just
sauce,
vodka?
bro? Oh,
I
you know what?
hadn't, and I had to make it. I couldn't find it here for a long time.
You know what? I have vodka sauce coming up within the next couple weeks. I'll make sure I stream me making vodka sauce just for you, bro, so you don't have to do it.
Yes. Yes, let me know.
Oh,
I will take
Yes. I
note.
mean,
Because the
but
jarred stuff
see,
is terrible here.
oh, see, I worked at a lot of Greek restaurants and a lot of Italian restaurants growing up. So it's like
Yeah.
if anything that I've gotten good at is making scratch sauces. And one of the most well-known ones in the area, I made once a week, every week for like 3 years. So it's like
Wow. Yep.
I learned
Yep.
things.
You learn. Yep. No, it's true.
But what drove me
Um,
nuts is there's this part of the sauce that gives it so much flavor. And yet at the same time, I've been trying to figure out a way to do it in a vegetarian way because the element is prosciutto.
oh,
Real
okay.
thin,
Yeah.
real thin sliced prosciutto and then diced up
Yeah.
small. And then you saute that off with the garlic and the onion and the
Mm,
oil, obviously. And then you add your vodka in after it. And then you
gotcha,
add your
gotcha, yeah.
tomato product. And then you add your cream and all that. And I can't get up to go to the bathroom because Smokey's ditching me, son of a bitch. um,
That's hilarious.
but but I've been trying to figure out something that would have the same amount of um Jordy Marie, welcome in, and not only the same like flavor profile, but how can I do something with a flavor profile that's meat and make it vegetarian? It's that's next level type shit for me. Like because I
It's so
I haven't gotten to
interesting.
that level
Yeah.
of figuring out how
I
to do that.
I think it is vegetarian in Australia because that really surprised me to hear. Because because I can't eat red meat.
Okay.
And when I went shopping for it, and the recipe that was given for me did not have meat. And when I look at them, I was really quickly in
Yes.
the background. I was like, "That's really interesting," because I didn't have a reaction. And I was looking up the jarred ones, and they don't have meat in them, which is really interesting. So something's happened in Australia that
Huh.
has slightly changed it. I
Well, I
think
mean,
they more the
and
chili comes through over
yeah,
here.
$1 million idea. I know, right? Well, I mean, well, you got the Whopper, right? I mean, there's the
Yep.
meatless Whopper. Why can't they have a meatless prosciutto? I mean,
Yeah, I
most
mean,
of it, most of it, honestly, at the end of the day, is I pretty much what I figured I would have to do to create that level of flavor would just to be add more salt to it because
oh,
prosciutto
okay, interesting.
prosciutto is very
Really
salty.
salty.
Yeah,
As because I was gonna be like, could you use like smoked paprika? Because of like, if you're after
that's not
the
a bad idea too.
smokiness of that meat, so if it's like high salt and paprika to kind of
Yeah,
mimic,
that's an idea
but
too.
it's
I
still
might
gonna
do that.
work with the chili powder.
That's a
Yeah,
very good idea.
as someone who is but a vegan,
Is
no.
butter not vegan? Vegetarian,
Unfortunately.
yes.
Yeah.
Vegan, no.
they
Yeah,
do
someone
have
who
they
can't
do
eat
have
red
vegan
meat,
butter
I'm
though.
always thinking
Vegan
alternatives of how I
vegan
can
is
remake.
is anything that comes from animals, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
so there's like things like
Am I
figs
wrong in
and
saying
stuff.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
like
people get really hardcore
it's
because they're like, "Oh,
very
I won't eat figs because bees die in them or something." I don't know.
kind of
I'm not quite across it, but it can get
vegans
quite. strict.
Vegans are the next level vegetarians that take things way too fucking far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
personal
And
opinion. No offense to
yeah.
any vegans. I'm no offense, but I don't understand.
There's some offense. You had to say it twice. Don't let him
It's
lie to you.
My bad.
my chef's the same. It's interesting you mentioned veganism because I was thinking earlier of what happens if you can't take a journey physically for a bunch of reasons. Like it could be accessibility reasons, it could be monetary reasons. There's lots of reasons people are like, yeah, well that's fucking great if I could travel to Italy and do a blog and then come back and cook, but
Yeah.
I can't do that. Or even locally, like I just can't get out that much. Like what if I'm on night shift, so I'm just not around when places are open and I live on pizza? It's like what can I do? And there's kind of like two things I could answer that. And one of them, funny if you mentioned veganism, is the other thing in the food category we talk about is aspirational foodie culture. So if it's not about taking a journey and creating a story, it's about creating an audience of aspirational foodie culture. It's something that people really want to try. So things like keto or veganism, like those kind of ways of eating that people want to learn more about, you can tap into those audiences as well. And that becomes a subject instead
Right.
of a journey or a story that you're trying to create. And that's why, and it becomes a spectator sport for people who aren't as well, because they just get really fascinated or they wanted to find out more by it. So they'll kind of pop in. I think that is a lot more of a teaching kind of area. It's quite niche, but you can build up a bit of a, I suppose you could say, a cult around it a little bit, a little bit
Right.
more. But yeah, aspirational foodie culture is another thing that you can tap into. If there's a particular area that you're very passionate in, it is narrowing a lot more, but you will get a more passionate, loyal audience who will be trying to spout your words of wisdom elsewhere, and naturally will be spreading it. And the other one is reaction streamers, which I think people have very varied reactions to reaction streamers. On one side, especially as a creative, people are like, so these are people who create clips reacting to other people, and you've got some streamers who have become very famous for it.
Oh yeah.
One reaction is, of course, well, you're making a name off of yourself off of other people's content. And then people will respond and be like, oh, but they're being credited as well, so people are going to go to them. And it's like, it's kind of the same thing as what I mentioned earlier with the podcast. No, most people probably aren't going to go over to that other person and have a look. It has sometimes, the funny thing with reaction
Razzing.
streamers in the food category, unless they're a chef, I actually can't stand them. Having some people watching someone making food and being like, oh yeah, that looks delicious, and making like comedy over the top of it, or getting the technique completely like, oh, what is he doing there? Is he doing this? And I'm like, no. Or I watched someone recently, they posted one on my server and they're like, oh, I'm allergic to peanuts. He's putting peanuts in. And I'm like, they're hazelnuts, you dick. Like, you can see. Like, they actually make me really angry when they don't know about food and they're reacting to food. But I think that's my background. But chefs reacting to other people cooking actually can get quite interesting as well. Like, and some people get really excited when a chef is actually commenting. This is kind of how Uncle Roger happened in a really weird way, because he's a comedian. He's not a chef. He actually has a chef that helps him write to understand what he's supposed to be making jokes about. But a lot of the way TikTok culture works is that people put shit out there to be reacted to, and then it goes into a circle. So suddenly, if we're kind of returning to food is a passion topic, if you're putting stuff out there, it's exciting when people react to what you're putting out. But the same thing is the other way around. So the way you get big on social is that you start engaging with those audiences and reacting to what they're doing. So a chef reacting to something that someone's making is suddenly a way that you are tapping into different audiences and having a look at different stories that they're creating as well. as long as you're crediting everything correctly. Um,
Right. And
but
that's the
people
whole
really
trick
enjoy
of
that
it.
as well.
Like
Yeah,
you really
yeah,
have to give credit where credit is due. Like because I actually honestly hate I don't like using the word hate, but I hate seeing so many streamers go out there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this TV on and we're gonna just watch TV and talk about TV." Like that's not
yeah,
content.
yeah. And this is
That's
where,
not creating content at all.
yeah, reaction streamers get and it's hard because it's like we're going through, especially with AI at the moment, that thin line of what's copyright and what can you actually react to, like what is allowed,
Hmm.
and it's a very gray line and it's very confusing as well. Like I know some streamers and I'm fine with this, and where they're like, I gotta be right back, but my mate's streaming, so I'm gonna pop them on for a bit. They already know their mate's fine with that. And what happens a lot of time is people go into their chat and they're like, oh, we're watching you at the moment on Blah's channel, and it kind of turns into a little circular thing. So that's obviously allowed. Like there's a permission there. It gets really
Right.
interesting when you have streamers who are like watching YouTube, like they're watching food shows together, and it's like, is this copyright? Like, is it because they're not going to publish it? Like, can they make clips from reacting to it? Like, it gets really confusing.
The only time I've ever
My,
done YouTube is like 24-hour streams and like kind of break
yeah.
periods, you know.
Oh, yeah,
You
totally.
know, that's about it.
Yeah, and this is like my thing is, as long as you are crediting or it's really obvious that you're watching this, and you're saying that it's a reaction, it's not as bad. I mean, the worst thing that's going to
Right.
happen is someone's going to contact you and tell you to take it down, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Is someone going to sue you? You're too small. They're only going to go after really huge streamers that make a lot of money to be bothered to
X.
spend that much money in court. So the worst thing that's going to happen is you're just going to get a cease and desist from something, because you've
Right.
put it up as a clip and it's making a lot of money, and they're going to be like, no thanks. Or on YouTube they're just going to claim it, is what's going to
Right.
happen. That's a fine worst case scenario, you know. Ignorance is definitely not the law. So if you're going to go into reaction streams, I would do a bit of research, especially for your local country. But it's also an accepted culture that's growing very rapidly. And so it's kind of a,
Okay.
you
Yes.
either get on
Right.
board with it or you don't. And that's definitely an area I think for chefs and foodies, is reacting to things from a professional point of view. Like I've forgotten their names, but the two Italian guys who react to people cooking Italian food is hilarious. Like people love that shit. They
Oh, I
appreciate
bet.
when they come up on it. Yeah, so there's like another angle there. So if you can't personally take a journey, you can take part in other people's journeys as long as you do it respectfully.
Right.
And you can put yourself forward as a professional a lot more and be like, as a chef, I'm reacting to this, and then you can kind of twist it. So like you'll see a lot of reaction streamers, and this is the more fun stuff. Is like they might be following along with the person, and that's where the comedy kind of comes from. Or you can say you want to focus on a particular topic, you can look at a bunch of different streamers and other people who've done stuff, and you can react, and then you go away and put your own twist on it. So maybe you're
Right.
reacting to a bunch of people making chocolate cake, and then you watch all of the craziness, you react to it as a chef, and then you're like, cool, that was really inspirational. I'm going to go and put my own twist on it. You know, I really liked what that streamer, this person's name, did at the beginning with their icing. I've never played around with icing design before, so this is going to be fucking shit, but let's give it a go and see if I can pull off what they did. So suddenly you're kind of like making their story part of your story as well, while giving them the credit. So there's an area there. If you can't do the journey based stuff, or tap into your local scene, or you can't be an aspirational foodie culture, then another is reaction. You can go out there and react and connect to their communities, and then kind of bring it in the same way that you kind of do a podcast, but way more indirect. Is you're connecting with that community. As long as you ask your community to stay nice, like if they go over there and interact with that community, like the worst thing you want is people like trying to advertise on your behalf or something over in that community. So as long as they stay respectful as well, you are responsible for your own community to a point,
Right.
minus the insane ones.
Oh yeah. Always. See, but you know what? I actually did that a couple of times where it's like I would pull up a. I got into it a little bit because they brought in Twitch streamers, they brought in YouTubers, they brought in professional chefs, they brought in what was the other category that they brought people in from? I can't remember. But the show was called The Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay, right? And
Oh yeah,
Gordon
yeah.
and the two other chefs, they pick their team and then blah 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 blah. All that happens. And I'm sitting there kind of reacting to it and I'm like, why the fuck did you grab that shit? What are you thinking? Like, and I'm
Yeah,
sitting there
yeah,
like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Oh my god, no.
yeah. We did
Yeah.
the same thing when we were much smaller. We reacted. We used to do a lot of things of a food producer and it was like an executive producer and an executive chef reacts to a food show because it's
Mhm.
interesting with the two angles, and we used to do that a lot. But we were always like, "Oh, we're tiny, so we can get away with it." And how borderline is this? And we never created clips
Tiny
from
and
it.
Wolfman,
But
first
yeah,
time chatter.
we would be going off in different ways constantly at the shows. Like it'd just be like so crazy, and it would just be like, "What are you doing? Stop it! No! Oh, it's gonna go wrong! Oh, it's gone wrong!" Like
Yep.
the
Yep.
reactions are definitely worth it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's navigating that. If you're gonna make clips of it compared to being live, it's just navigating that copyright. And one way, like if you want to take the ignorant route, you can check if other people have done it, and if the company seems fine with it, they're not reacting, then you're probably safe if something's gone viral. But just like, yeah, do your
Yeah.
research.
It's walking that fine line once again. It's like how far are you taking it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you
Chaos. I'm
can't
so
make that
confused.
you you can't make that your entire platform is reaction. I feel like you have
Yeah.
to establish yourself as a chef first and that you actually know what the fuck you're talking about and then go into like reaction type stuff.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's like a lot of like at the moment I'm telling you guys stuff and I have given you none of my credentials. So you're presuming that I am a producer. But you kind of
Mm,
talk the talk. And people recognize pretty quickly. They're like, "Oh, well you obviously know what you're talking about." And it's kind of the same
mhm.
with chefs, I think, is like you kind of walk the walk and then people kind of go, "Oh, well,
Absolutely.
then you must be because I can see and I can hear that you
Yeah.
are what you are." It's kind of like your own proof point. But it is
Yeah.
interesting with the title. I get this as well with producer. Like people are like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I'm like, "Oh, the breakdowns I've been through." But yeah, it's so cool. But it's the same thing with chef. Like you can just say you're a chef, most people will believe you. It's really interesting. Like they'll just kind of take it at face value. I suspect you could go in. So I think yeah, going and actually like giving yourself some proof point will give you a louder voice because the flip side of social is
Yeah.
people will call you out. Someone will
Oh
find
yeah.
you, they'll be like, or someone will get insulted by something you said about their content if you're reacting. So with a grudge, they're going to go look you up and they're going to go, well, you're clearly not this because
Mhm.
of this. And I think this is where, even with anonymity, social keeps you humble because someone is always going to challenge. And it's always the person, it's always the snowflake that got insulted that's going to find the shit on you.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So that's where
Because
it's
they're gonna
like you can go in and pretend, but yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because they'll be right in there, be like, "Oh, well, guess what I found out."
Yeah. I can't remember. There's a famous YouTuber who claimed to be like an engineer for a long time, like a developer, and I can't think of his name now. And he'd say it all the time, and then people like dug into it and they're like, no, you're not. Or like Pirate Software gets called out a lot where they're like, "Well, hang on, I've worked at this organization, and you're not quite what you say, but at least you talk the talk. But as soon as you piss someone off, they're gonna find some kind of dirt on you. So
Oh
keep your
yeah.
nose clean."
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's always interesting to watch unfold.
Yeah, yeah,
Be like, okay,
definitely.
you're getting called out, so what are you gonna do now?
What are you gonna do now? Yeah, right. It's really true. Um, but yeah, I guess hopefully that's been a bit inspirational of like how to expand yourself as creators a little bit more, because I really want to see the food and drink space do well in Twitch. It really touched me, I suppose. When the Twitch Creator Club was first created, and all the foodies started pouring in. The first reaction was, "Oh shit, other foodies." The second reaction was just like pointing the finger at Twitch and being like, "You haven't been doing this. You haven't been doing this. We're really peeved you haven't been doing this." And I give Twitch a lot of credit because they listened. They didn't try to rebut anything. They were like, "Yep, we hear you." And one of the biggest things is like the category just does not get enough support. Like people are like, "Why are we never a carousel on the front page? Like, why does our logo have fucking celery and sausages and jello? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, why don't we get
Oh my
enough love?"
God, when they changed it, I was pissed because that
Yeah.
for a while it was a chef at a table, and the table went out, and it was food and wine on it, so it was the food and drink. And then
Yeah,
they changed
yeah.
it to this red thing, wherever the fuck that is. It looks like a part of a
It's
rack of lamb
so
with like hats
weird.
on it. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, yeah. We recreated when we did the food and drink club launch raid train. We recreated that recipe, and apparently it's been done a lot before because people are
Mm.
just like, "What is this?" So yeah, it was something like because of my background listening to people, I was like, I really want to
Oh,
help people kind of get to where they want to be, like just to grow the category a bit because they're kind of
fucking
like,
imagine.
why are these 24/7 channels getting higher views where they're just playing repeats? Like
Right.
why did Twitch create their own food channel? Like, can they do that? Like, there's just a lot of questions and confusion around that as we try to grow. But I love the fact they created the club with so many different people and backgrounds in there because the questions are being asked and they're being listened to and people are supporting each other and they're meeting other chefs. So it's really cool, and I recommend anyone listening, like they do accept people in as long as you're an affiliate. It's a really cool little club. There's some really awesome people in there, so
Um,
definitely apply if you're a streamer.
I feel like if you are a streamer, and I have the thing going for the Creators Club, um, in order to be accepted into a specific club, you have to actually stream in that category at least once a month, is what I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
I don't know how often. Yeah.
I think that the frequency of how often you stream is uh is up for debate. However, there is that limitation to it. So it's like just like Smokey, like I applied to be in the food and drink creator, but he really can't sit there and argue it because he's never streamed food and drink.
Correct. Correct.
Oh, okay. All right.
Correct.
Interesting.
You see
Yeah,
what I'm
they
saying?
Which
do
is why I've liked
check.
this because you've said a lot of good things that have made me like think about. All right, if I do ever start doing it, these are the things I need to hone in on if I'm
Yeah,
going
what
to
are you gonna
stream.
do?
Correct. So
Oh, well, now I'm excited
this
to
has been
see.
yeah, no, this has been a great
You have
conversation.
to now.
I've thought
That's
about it
The
many
awesome.
Meg
times.
After
I've
Dark with the
yeah, like
raid.
I've
Let's
done like cooking streams before,
go.
like once or twice on as like challenges for like
Oh,
sniffles and stuff, but I've
welcome
never like
in
actually
Raiders.
done food and drink streams.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get you. Welcome, readers.
Raiders,
Hello.
welcome in.
Let's go. Welcome to the fucking party, pal.
W
Let's
W W.
go. Meg After Dark. I fucking love you. You guys are awesome. They stream together. They do a cooking and they do a wine or drink pairing. they're awesome to watch.
Well,
They're very entertaining, very cool. Definitely go check them out. Here, let me do a shout out for them. No, there we go. There we go. There we go. Hi, how's streaming? It's going good, Meg. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you. We're doing our podcast thing, our usual Sunday nights. I appreciate you for the raid. Thank you guys so much. Of course, of course. Nick, what's good, Nick? Let's go. Nick is Meg's counterpart.
okay, all
Nick
right.
Nick and Nick and Meg they stream together for the Meg After Dark. It's really, like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's very cool. If you guys haven't checked it out, please go check it out by all means.
Nice.
Shaka, welcome in. First time chat. I love to see it. Let's go. This one's real chaos. Yo, Razin. Razin's been fucking with Chaos Reaper for like the past hour, and it's actually hilarious. Oh, I love you guys. Hey, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. So far tonight we've been talking about a lot of um basically how to expand from just Twitch. We have a producer with us, and she has been talking
Hello.
about all kinds of ideas for for taking food and drink to the next level for yourself as a streamer. So, anything you guys have missed, please go back and watch the VOD. Definitely worth the watch. I will say that I learned a lot in the past 2 hours and 40 minutes
Same,
myself. So
same.
I, it's definitely
Well, that
been
makes me
educational to
happy.
say the least.
Yay, I'm helpful.
Definitely,
Nah,
definitely.
I'm really glad.
Hey, well, Nick, every week it's different because we have different food and drink creators. We have um chefs that game. We have it, if anyone deals in the culinary industry, if they're a food and drink streamer, they are more than welcome to be on the podcast with us and to for us to interview them, get to know them, and then talk about food. I mean, that's kind of what we do here.
Yeah.
So I guess the next point would have to be, where did you start, Minx? How did you get started with everything?
Uh,
With
a
Twitch?
little kid with big dreams. With Twitch specifically?
Hey, yeah.
Twitch specifically, yeah, it's what I said before. It was during COVID, a lot of our
Right.
shoots got shut down. And because I worked with advertising in particular, a lot of salespeople are involved, and they were trying to do their pitches, or broadcasters were trying to put out there what's coming up in the year, like a whole bunch of different reasons, or essentially people who did what they call upfronts. They display their products for the year and what's upcoming. They couldn't do that anymore. So a lot of shit was just being shut down in COVID. And so of course a
Right.
lot of people immediately were like, "Oh, we'll just stream shit." Like that makes sense. Like whatever we're doing, we'll just stream stuff instead of going out and doing activations, as we call them, and advertising. We'll just try and reach people through social and do live shit instead. And so there was suddenly this huge shift of focus to live streaming, and I was like, shit, I don't know enough. And I had a real life friend who was a VTuber, and I was like, the fuck is a VTuber? Like I'd heard of them, but to me, incorrectly to be fair, but to me it just seemed very simp culture, very weeby, like it was just a really weird world. And so I kind of like was sitting in his stream and getting used to stuff, and I was slowly like, oh, okay, actually there's something in this because I can be anonymous and I can explore everything I want to, and I can learn the streaming side of things, and I don't have to put myself out there. There's a lot of people who do it to become a character, but I can just use a visual representation of myself and I can just be myself. And won't dox myself. Because, like I said earlier, I just wanted to be able to learn without clients coming in and judging whether they should hire me or not based on what I was doing. And it's like, that's not what I wanted. Like, I just, and then it just kind of grew from there because, yeah, I just asked my mates who I was hanging with, um, let's create segments. Like, what are we good at? And it turned out we had people in the group who just all had really good skills. Like, one person in our group, Oracle, has won a lot of Street Fighter tourneys. Like, he travels around and he's does really well. So we're like, oh, we can have a fighting segment. And it turned out he's also a complete pussy, so we make him do horror streams as well, and it's hilarious. And then we had a chef in our group, and he was like, I've always wanted to, the big dream. Like, I've always wanted to put myself out there on camera. And I was like, yeah, well, I can do that. We can have a food segment. And then we kind of went from there. Like, we have a guy in our group, Doom, who I love, who's just a very loud and passionate American voice. We like to tease him and say he's getting his glocky wocky out, and pretending like he's being all gangster. And he's the ranting type, so he loves challenging games. He does a lot of Souls like and those kind of runs while ranting loudly, and it has me crying. And so it started out as me just learning how to stream. And by the way, to all the streamers, the fact that you're using OBS, like, that's a genuine broadcast tool that you're using. I had to do a degree to learn that shit. So, like, every time you think you're doing shit, you're not. You're doing fucking amazing. You're being your own soundy, your own camera guy, your own producer. Like, it's really crazy what you guys are doing as one person. So everyone's doing really well. But everyone just really enjoyed us, and so they were like, keep streaming. And for me, it became as a way to face my anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety around gaming. And so the more I was streaming and gaming for other people and doing collabs, the more I was kind of facing my fear. The same thing of me going on podcasts and doing interviews, like, for me, is a very anxious thing, but it's like exposing myself and putting myself out there to try and help myself. So I think it's a common story with a lot of streamers, but you start out just seeing what it's all about, and then you end up staying because it helps you in some way. So I'm still here, and
Oh,
that's why our channel is really bizarre, but it kind of works for us.
there you go. I
I
love it.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
I love the collaboration of it. I think is what
yeah,
gets me so much is that it's not just you. It's
no,
other people that are in on it and
yeah.
are developing from it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like herding cats, but they're very good cats at least. But I think the fact I came from a producer background helped me. But it helps as well, like what we were talking about earlier of is first impressions when people come into your stream. They were
Mhm.
saying, like, if you're really depressed and down about what you're doing, then people aren't going to hang around. I'm quite lucky in the fact that I have co-hosts. I don't think I'd stream without them because we're always just having a conversation. If no one's there, we're going to talk and hang out anyway as mates. And so we
Right.
get a lot
Yep.
of lurkers, which is nice because lurkers feel like they don't have to interact. We become like a radio show. It's like doing a podcast where they can just chill and do
Right.
whatever they're doing or play their games, and they listen to us just bantering and bagging each other out and doing whatever. So
See,
it
and
just
that's
it works
why,
really
yeah,
well.
yeah, and that's why I love the podcast end of the things that I do besides the cooking stream and having this because I brought in Smokey and like even if no one's here talking, like he and I can just sit here and
Yeah.
talk about shit.
Chat. Yep.
Like,
Yep, yep, it
you know,
works.
so
It works really well. It's why a lot of people do collabs and have other people is like just hanging out with people while you're streaming. Like if you're getting to that point where you're feeling a bit lonely and you're staring at the numbers too much, do something with someone.
Yeah.
I with my anxiety, I do solo stream. So on Wednesdays I do story rich games because as a producer I really love stories. Like obviously I've talked to you a lot today about stories. That's kind of my passion, is
Right.
finding the stories and people and bringing them out to be able to share them. So I do Wednesdays by myself, and it's been good for my anxiety. But I love having another person there. I think it really helps. Check those introverts out against their will.
Yeah,
I guess,
razzing.
I guess I am an introvert. I guess I am. I think about what space is like. Oh my god, that
Yeah,
is like I
he's
feel
been
so
smoking a lot
insignificant suddenly.
this podcast. I think he smoked more than Smokey tonight.
Dude, when I was like seriously fucked up one day, someone had it's like Space by Sam Neill or something. I can't even remember. And I just remember there was a scene where they're like, this is the Earth, and this is our solar system, and this is other solar systems, and it just kept zooming out and zooming out and zooming out, and I just fucking lost it. I was just like, I am way too fucking stoned for this shit. I am insignificant and tiny. And oh my god, I just had like this miniature little freak out, and then like someone's like, "Do you want some pizza?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, man, that'd be cool." But that's all I remember from that documentary series is just being really fucking
Yeah,
high, and they're just zooming out more and more and
that's
more from the
wild.
Earth, and I was like, "Fuck, man, my brain."
Well, I mean, hey, you never know.
I guess
Shit gets
elephant.
wild.
That's awesome. What is it? We're all lying in the gutters staring at the stars. Something like that. I can't remember the saying. It's like Oscar Wilde or something. I probably completely miscredited that. Can't
Yeah, see,
remember.
so Chaos Reaper, man, for me it's water. Like whenever I
Yeah.
feel like I need to recenter myself, I need to be around water in some kind of capacity. Like like thankfully I live in Buffalo, so I'm right by Lake Erie and Lake Ontario.
The
So
woods for me.
I'll go to the lake and just sit there and have a couple of beers and just zone the fuck out. Um,
Woods in my
showers,
hammock.
you know, chilling in the shower helps, especially with my back.
Sounds so good.
Um, but
I
like
love the rain.
the
The sound of the
the
Same.
ultimate,
rain is
yeah,
so
Same.
peaceful.
Yep.
you know, the ultimate to me is whenever I get to go on a cruise because
I've
I've
never
always
been on one. I
Neither have I.
really want to. Traveling is
I've
such a thing I want to do.
yes, I've always imagined myself as a pirate, being a chef. I
Yes!
mean,
That's so
so
good.
and so for me the ultimate is to get away to the Caribbean and to go on a cruise and drink and chill on exotic beaches surrounded by palm
This
trees
sounds
and
so
crystal clear
good.
fucking water. Like that's I have to do it. I've been fighting with my wife probably more so than the past few months about like I need to get away. I need a cruise. Like fuck buying a house. I don't care about buying a house anymore. I need to go on another fucking cruise.
Nah,
Like
I'm the
fuck the
same.
bullshit.
I've just accepted that I'm never going to own a house in my life, and I want to travel and see the world before I
Yep.
die. And yep, Caribbean is
Oh,
is
man,
on the
yeah,
list.
that sounds
And I was the same.
irritating.
I was like, I want to do pirate shit. Like, I just want to do
Right.
pirate shit.
It was
But
funny for a little while on a previous podcast that I had done like a while ago. I had talked about going on cruises and whatnot, and I'm like, you know what we should do? We should get everybody on Discord because we're all friends, and we just buy an old fucking cruise ship that's like set
oh
out
my
to
god,
pasture,
yeah.
and we retrofit it and turn it into a pirate ship, and we just sail around in the fucking Caribbean, attacking other attacking other cruise ships.
Yes, I love this idea that it's a cruise ship and it's just got cannons loaded onto
Yes.
Yes. My
I'm
whole
waiting for
mind
you
was
guys
like,
to
bro,
finish renovating it, and then someone will be like, "Does anyone know how to drive this thing?"
yo, I'd be like, yo, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I swear to God, we're not gonna dock anywhere though. I'm gonna get real close and everybody just get in the little boats and go.
Just, just jump. You'll be fine. It's not that high on a cruise ship.
No,
No,
but
it's
that's what it is.
awesome.
Do you know that's
Oh,
what actually
Viking.
happens? How people die on cruise ships when they jump
They
overboard?
jump.
It's or when people fall overboard. It's
Yeah,
not that
fall
they
like it.
can't. It's them. It's the fall. It's not the
You
Really,
gotta
the way
break
they
the
fall.
water.
Yeah.
surviving in the water. In the middle of
Yeah.
the fucking godforsaken ocean, which is scary as fuck. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not floating in the water. It's them falling and then
Yeah.
breaking their legs or breaking a part
Yeah.
of their body where they can't float. So they drowned. And then their body
Yeah.
floats after they die. Like type shit. Like it's crazy.
It's I live in Sydney, so the Sydney
Sophia,
Harbour
what's good,
Bridge.
girl? Welcome in.
And it's a thing that so they paint it. They start at one end and they just work all the way along it. I don't know how long it takes, like a year or something, maybe more. And then they get to the end and they just restart and they paint it again. And they talk about when they fall, you try to throw your tools ahead of you so that you break the water tension so that you can actually go into it. So I never knew that until someone told me that it is. It's like
Hmm.
falling onto concrete unless you break the water tension first, which is crazy.
Well, yeah,
Science.
yeah. Well, here's the whole thing is I actually from being uh going good, Sophia. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate you. What what was crazy was that I learned when you jump or when you fall from a ship, right? That's you're obviously jumping from a good height. Um, what you're supposed to do is jump straight together, your arms across like this, and then your feet pointed down, so that when you hit at an angle where you just like split, like
Uh,
where it's like you go like
you're the
this
pin.
almost.
You
Yeah.
like see that shit
Yeah,
in movies too.
Yeah, you
yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
And but that's what was taught to them from people who were in the Navy or the Coast Guard, because that's how I learned was from the Navy/Coast Guard. Because I was in the junior Navy when I first learned about it, which was crazy. And I was like, oh, okay, good to know. But
Wow.
it's like
Yeah.
I feel like half the people that die on the cruises that fall or jump overboard, they're drunk as shit and they're not gonna
Yeah.
think about how they fucking land in the water. I'll
No.
tell you that right now.
No. They're just confused.
You're just like, I'm falling. Splat.
Probably a better way to go.
Fish food.
Fish food. Yep. Oh wow. Yeah, no. In the waters of Australia, you're screwed. Yeah, it's pretty true. It's a lot of sharks. It's pretty true. You don't think about it in Australia. Everyone's like, "How do you deal with the animals?" And
Pork
I'm like, "I
belly.
just don't think about it."
Yo,
Just don't think about it. I
you
love it.
Australia has one of the some of the craziest animals in the frigging world.
Yeah,
And
because the continent was broken off earlier.
the one that keeps being mentioned, that keeps coming up, is the freaking magpie.
Oh yeah, Australians are really scared of being swooped. That's a thing. I wasn't born here, so I have like a different idea of Australians. But yeah, they're terrified of birds. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
But
I'm like,
they swoop. They swoop.
yeah, yeah.
It's a little scary. It's funny mentioning Australia with chefs because this comes up with Chef Wolfie a lot. He's like, "What's the
Hey, no, I
cuisine then?"
appreciate you, Sophia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for just coming by
No,
and saying hi. I appreciate that more than you know. And if you don't know, um, just by coming by and chatting, you guys are all entered into a giveaway that I have every month. So Now you know.
Ooh, okay. But yeah, I get asked a lot, what is Australian cuisine? I've had to think about this for a long time because there's not really a cuisine. I've separated it into 3 categories, which I call bush tucker, which is like First Nation traditional living off the land kind of stuff. So
Okay.
things like lemon myrtle, traditional herbs. And then I call the tradie cuisine. So tradies are like tradespeople, and they tend to live off what we call servos, so gas station food. So meat
Gas
pies,
station food.
pub food. Yeah, so I call it tradie cuisine, and then the third one is hipster cuisine because Australia is like the land of the hipsters. So things like smashed avocado on toast,
Oh
or
yes,
Buddha bowls
that
of
was a
like
trend.
just
That was a trend here like 8 years ago.
yeah, yeah. So that every time people are like, "What's the cuisine of Australia?" I'm like, "There's 3 that I can separate: hipster, tradie, bush tucker." And kangaroo, by the way, is dog food here. It's crazy that I hear overseas people like, "Oh, I finally tried the exotic meat of kangaroo and I paid like $50 for it." And we're like, "Dude, it's dog food." Like they're
Wild.
like we cull them.
That's
Like,
wild.
yeah. It's really weird that people sell it overseas as exotic and jerky and stuff, and we see it as like kangaroos are really bony. Like they're just it's not good meat. It doesn't taste good. So yeah, stop buying kangaroo.
You're like really muscly too.
Yeah, yeah, it is. They're like super muscly. So
Yeah,
stop spending lots of money on dog food, please.
I've
It's not
never had
exotic.
kangaroo, and now I know to
Don't
never.
do it.
Don't even
Don't do
worry
it. It's
about
just
it.
dog food. Like it's so weird that people have like try to make it out like oh it's Australian food. And we're all like, what the hell?
Well, well, in all honesty, in all fairness, it's like, isn't that just the way of things? Like, because it's not natural to your local area, it's exotic.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no,
im-
it is,
like,
yeah.
it would be pretty much like selling buffalo or bison to Australia. That would be exotic to Australia because you guys or Australia doesn't have buffalo or bison.
It's true. It's true. I got told a fact literally yesterday where apparently people now don't quote me on the date. I'm gonna say Victorian era, I'm not sure. But it's the time when like spice trade and trade of food between different countries was really taking off, maybe 1600s then. But apparently, people used to hire a pineapple for their parties to just be put on the table. They couldn't afford to eat it, but it was so exotic and weird that they would hire a pineapple in England and just put it on their table. And everyone would be like, ooh, look at it. It's so weird and exotic. And it was like all the rage in England for a while is you hire your pineapple for your party so people
Oh,
can
I'm
see it.
sure, and it would have to be during, I
That's
want to say, the
crazy.
1600s
I want to
because
say
that's when
1600s. Yeah.
I mean that is a good ballpark time frame because that's when ships were being more utilized instead of ferrying people. They were going across oceans at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
So
biggest thing, the biggest thing England was involved in was the slave trade, and that
yeah,
all went down in the
trade.
16 and 1700s.
Good old East India Trade Company. Well, there you
Yeah,
go. Apparently, and I can imagine it. If I'd never seen a pineapple before and someone stuck it on the table, I'd be like, "The fuck is this?"
Yep.
So yeah, exotic foods. I just love the idea they don't even eat them because they can't afford. They just hire them to look at. It's like the
it
ultimate
could have been a
foodie
pineapple.
immersive experience. Like this is what Twitch is. You're just staring at the exotic pineapple that you can never have.
Right. And like, is someone gonna cut that open and try that first or what?
Imagine if you got like a really tart one as well, like it wasn't even a good pineapple, and everyone's like, yes, it's delicious. It's so exotic and acidic. And you're just like, I hate this. But I just spent hundreds of dollars on it. So, I
Right.
mean, we
Like,
still do that
that's gotta be
today,
so
actually,
weird.
now that I think
Yeah. Oh
about it.
yeah.
We
Right.
still do that.
Exactly. So weird. and yet still relevant in the same day and age. It's so
Yeah,
like what?
we still do it. Spend hundreds of dollars on some exotic foodie experience. I love that shit. And I'm like, this is disgusting, but I'm going to enjoy it because I just spent a lot of fucking money on it.
Right.
And the
Right.
chefs
Like
are
you
like, I don't
better
know
fuck.
why we're fucking cooking this, but I've made it as edible as possible, so good luck.
Exactly.
Here's your gold flake, whatever the
That's,
fuck.
I mean, we even talked about it before. The same goes for what the fuck was it? God damn it. Smokey, what was it?
They're like, our Smokey's just supposed to know.
I know, for
because
real.
he's the other chef. Uh
Be psychic. Go.
those the fish eggs. Uh
Roe?
Oh, caviar
Caviar?
and
Roe?
roe.
Thank you, caviar.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like caviar is nasty as fuck, and yet people are like, "Oh my god, it's so good." I'm like,
I love caviar.
"Why?
I
Because it
think it's
was
delicious.
expensive as fuck."
I think it's
Yeah,
delicious on
It's
certain
it's
applications.
fishy. It's fishy and salty. Like, ew.
Delish.
I feel this about oysters. I'm not big
Yeah,
on oysters.
I'm not big on oysters either.
And I don't get
I
the
don't like
point of,
oysters.
like, you're swallowing it, so you're not even eating it anyway.
Correct.
So, like, why?
You
Yeah,
gotta take it like a
that's just a
shot too, and it's
ritual.
like, that's questionable.
Yeah.
The best part of it is
Yeah.
usually the brunoise and the sauce. That's like the best whole
Right.
part of
Yeah,
it.
literally. Yeah.
But the whole like component of I don't understand it. So
It's just an foodie experiences versus actually eating is like a
Yeah.
whole thing.
oof.
Oh yeah. Oh, Puff switched up on me. I see you, Puff. No, but it's so wild. Bonky, what's good, Bonky? Welcome in, bro. Um, next week, as a matter of fact, Bonky's son is going to be on the podcast. Who is called that dude, that one dude, and I am so very excited because he is a young man who went to culinary school and just got out of culinary school and in his first culinary job profession. So this is gonna be good. This is gonna be one for the books, guys.
That's gonna
Um,
be so
on
interesting.
top of this one, because this one is definitely one for the books as well. Um,
Oh, thank you.
but it's gonna be good because it's gonna be us talking with basically our younger selves in a matter of speaking is how I'm looking at it. And it's like there's gonna be so many questions that I'm gonna ask and so many things that I'm gonna want to talk about to be like, please don't go down my road. Please don't do the shit that I did. So I'm super hyper excited about that one. Um, and I know Smokey might be as well, hopefully.
Yeah, I am. Definitely am. I love the like variation of people that we've been getting.
And that's what I,
'Cause-
I I I love so much about doing this podcast is
Yeah.
bringing in different perspectives and different positions within the service industry. Like I'm dying to get a server in here. That's
It
gonna
would be
be
cool.
that's gonna be my next big thing is I want a server. I want somebody who has waited tables and had to deal with the public personally, face to face, on a regular basis for years.
My that's one of my partners. He was a waiter for years, to the point he was thinking of taking silver service, but he hasn't done it in a long time. He got out of there. But
Okay.
yeah, he has some crazy ass stories. Waiters have a lot of stories. That'd be great.
Oh, I'm sure. Yo, Lola, what's good, Lola? How are you? Hope all the feeders are keeping well. That's my Irish lady. That's my Irish crazy Lola. And this is the one thing, this is the other thing that I don't feel enough people respect about Twitch, right? Because here I am having a podcast with someone from Australia and having someone from Ireland in my chat.
Yep. Big
Yeah,
facts.
Like,
Big
how
it's
facts.
true.
wild is that? Like, where
The world
else do you
feels
get to do
smaller,
this kind of shit?
much smaller. And it's good because it expands your mind
Yo,
beyond your,
Chris,
like we were
welcome in,
talking
bro. Good to
earlier,
see you.
not mentioning politics. It's true because it expands your mind beyond the silo effect of trying to keep within your local politics and not seeing. As soon as you start taking an international, global perspective, it's like seeing yourself for the first time. It's like, oh shit, everyone sees us as this? Like, why? Why is that? Oh, this is all the
Right,
shit I've never
right.
noticed before. It's really interesting seeing your
It's wild.
nationality from other people's perspective. You just slowly become like a global personality instead of a local, which is cool.
Like, which is even wilder if I were to start talking about lamb right now, because she loves lamb. Um, and lamb is also from Australia. I get my lamb imported
Yeah, big lamb country.
from
Really?
either
Huh, there you
Australia.
go.
I get it from
Yeah.
either Australia or I get it from what's it
New
called?
Zealand, I'm guessing?
New Zealand. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
biggest two imports of lamb. And I'm
That's
just
it.
like,
I've never had someone say that to me yet. But yeah, it's true.
love
Like I just
lamb.
know it disappears out there somewhere. I just presume everyone has their own sheep, but there you go. Apparently it's us. So that's cool.
Well, you know what I also found is that lamb from that's imported from New Zealand or Australia is it falls under another category for certain ethnicities as far as halal. I'm probably saying that
Oh
wrong.
yeah. Yeah. Halal. We're
Halal,
big on
halal.
servicing halal and making sure that people can eat. So yeah, it's actually pretty big in Australia.
Yeah. So exactly. And like there are it's a very small number here in America, but there is still that to consider that people come in and be like, "Oh, well, we only eat things that are halal approved or certified or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever." Because I don't fully understand that one quite yet, and I've been chefing for a while. Um,
Yeah.
but the mint jelly, yeah, I mean, that's a I really wanna say that started with Canada for some reason. I wanna say the mint
Canada.
jelly, yeah, Canada. I really wanna say, or not feel, say that the whole mint jelly with lamb started from Canada. I heard that several times. I don't know if I can actually
Really?
confirm that or
I thought it
not.
would have been English. I'm so fascinated. Mint jelly, really?
Yeah, mint jelly is typically served with lamb here in America. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so very you'll be surprised how much chicken is halal, and you don't realize. Really, that's good to know. Oh, it's English. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, and that's why I like talking about this kind of stuff so I can get educated as well.
Yeah. It's
That
apparently
Quigley
mint
Down
and
Under
lamb has
movie
been
did remind
around
me.
Yeah,
since
that's a pretty.
pre-Roman times.
That's a pretty
Wow.
Why did
classic combo.
why did you bring up Quigley Down Under, bro? Because I remember that movie, you motherfucker.
What's Quigley? What is this? I don't even know. Quigley Down
Oh
Under?
my
That's
god.
hilarious.
Oh my god, Google it. Check it out. It's a really good movie.
Quigley.
Do you know
Quigley.
Tom
Down
Selleck? Tom Selleck, right?
Oh,
Sounds so
yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when Tom Selleck was
Oh my
younger
god.
with his black mustache and he was like a Wild West shooter
Alan
and he
Rickman?
was
What the
hired
hell?
Yeah, and he was hired. He was hired from America to go to Australia to help them with something, and it's wild. It's actually a really good movie.
That's so.
It's like
Oh
a
my god.
Western type movie almost. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
a
oh yeah,
spaghetti western, but in
yeah,
Australia. That's
yes,
hilarious. Oh my god.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah,
All right. I love spaghetti
Razin,
western. Okay, I'm in.
Razin, you already know I'm old, and I know that kind of shit.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Oh yeah. Um, Another one that I actually liked a lot was the one that they did with oh, what's his name? I think the movie is called Australia.
Baz Luhrmann. Yeah,
Um,
I never saw it. I'll admit,
no, no, no.
but
The main actor was the same guy that played the Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes, it was a Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman was the main actor, and I want to
Yeah.
say, who was the girl?
I've forgotten her name, but she's really
She was married to Tom
famous.
Cruise for a while.
Yeah, yeah, and then he went a bit weird. I've forgotten her
Nicole
name as
Kidman.
well, and she's like Nicole Kidman.
Nicole
Yeah,
Kidman.
she's like famous. I never saw it.
And now he wants to go Crocodile Dundee.
Oh yeah, Crocodile Dundee. So I mentioned earlier, people who painted the Sydney Harbour Bridge. That actor, that's what he did before he got picked up. He was a Sydney Harbour Bridge painter.
Really?
Yeah, that's how
That's
far he
wild.
got. Yeah, Paul Hogan. That's it. Yeah, yeah. Apparently,
Paul
he used to
Hogan.
paint.
Okay.
One of his jobs was painting the Harbour Bridge.
No
But
shit.
yeah, 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 yeah. God, I haven't heard
Okay.
these names in forever. They don't come up as much in Australia anymore. They've become American, I suppose. So you don't hear about them as much. Hugh Jackman, you do. Everyone goes on about Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth. People go on about a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to love fucking those movies. The Crocodile Dundee. Especially when he had to escape America with his girlfriend and go back to Australia, and like the drug dealer or whoever was fucking chasing him to Australia, and they're
That's so
out there in
funny.
their fucking suits and shit. And I'm like, what part of this could possibly be fucking real?
I watched it when I first came to Australia. I felt like I had to be educated on Australia, so I watched Crocodile Dundee and the castle. All Australians go on about the castle, and I didn't understand any of the humor the first time I watched it. It's
Fairly
really
plausible.
weird and really Australian. And then I went back to it years later, and I was like, oh, I get it now. But yeah, the castle is like the most Australian movie you could possibly watch, and
Okay,
if if you're not Australian, if you're like me, I didn't get half the jokes, but Australians find it hilarious.
I'm gonna have to watch that and check it out.
Yeah. What's your
That
favorite
definitely
Tom
sounds
Cruise
a,
movie?
favorite Tom Cruise movie. I would have to say it's a toss up between two of them, either Days of Thunder or Top Gun.
Yeah, I
But
gotta
that's
look at
me
the list of
personally.
movies. Top Gun
Like
is
the
pretty up
Mission
there.
Impossible movies, I mean, okay, cool, but like that's not
Did he?
signature Tom
Was he in
Cruise.
Vanilla Sky? Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Vanilla Sky, I really liked. Like, the story's really good, the writer. So, there you go. Oh, yeah, Penelope
You
Cruz.
can
Holy shit.
trade
Yeah.
anything for beer.
You
Is
can
that a
trade
thing?
anything for beer? No?
Where?
That's a
No? You
I
need
mean, I,
money.
I guess it depends on the alcoholic you're trying to sell it to.
A slab of piss? They do call it a slab of beer. It is a slab. That's like where you have all the. They call them tinnies, and they have all the tinnies laid out and then plastic wrapped, and they'll call it a slab.
Okay, so $1 million question, right? Is Foster's is an
Oh my
actual
god,
Australian
it's a
beer? Is
joke.
that is that
It is. So the worst
Okay.
thing you can do to an Australian overseas is buy them a Foster's. They will not be impressed. We export that shit for a reason. No Australian drinks it. It's like kangaroo. Stop drinking
Yeah, we
kangaroo and
export that
stop.
shit for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. Stop eating kangaroo and stop drinking Foster's. No one drinks that
I like
shit.
the way you said it. Stop drinking kangaroo and stop eating Fosters.
Yeah, I
God
was like
damn it.
drinking. Wait, stop eating. Wait, I
Yeah.
God damn
spitterized
it.
it. Stop it. It's gross.
Knock it off.
No one drinks it. So yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
have some fun
fucking
with an
done.
Australian and see how polite they are, buy them a Foster's and watch them try to be polite, because they won't be impressed. They might just straight up tell you, but they'll be like, "Yeah, no one drinks this. Stop it."
Yeah. Which is funny because like I drink a Canadian beer called Labatt's, right?
Mm.
And like here in Buffalo, like Labatt's is huge. Like the Buffalo area, one of the bigger, more richer people of the Buffalo area bought um I don't want to say branded, but they basically made it so that they could brew Labatt's in America, right?
Oh yeah,
In
yeah, I
in
understand.
in Buffalo, in Buffalo specifically, because we love it so much. And then I've talked to other Canadians where like they're like Labatt's, really? Like Labatt's is shit. I'm like, wait, what?
Yep,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's wild.
It's so funny, isn't it? Yeah, no, Foster's is no one drinks Foster's. It's a huge joke here that people drink Foster's. We're like, what?
Rolling Rock? Yo, I remember Rolling Rock was cheap as fuck as a pitcher of beer across the street from this restaurant that I used to work at. And I used to go over there and buy like $2 pitchers of Rolling Rock and just slam pitchers of beer until I was so drunk that like, okay, it's time to go home. And it would usually be about
It's
6 pitchers deep,
an
like
East Coast
pitchers.
beer, but one of the best cheaper beers is Jingling.
Yingling,
Yeah.
you know it's made by Budweiser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a it's an off-brand Budweiser beer, which is hilarious.
That's so
But
funny.
it's so delicious. And it's way better than Budweiser.
I really wanted to try Budweiser for a long time, and then it was actually on a shoot. I ended up
It's like
in
Foster's.
an
Don't do it.
American pub. Yeah, I was not impressed. I was like, dude, this beer is so famous. It kind of tasted almost a bit fruity. It was really weird. And I was like, no, I'm not into this. But
It's
all the Australians
definitely
love it.
one of
It's the same
those.
thing. They go to American pubs and they're like, ooh, I'm drinking Budweiser. So with my
I mean,
buffalo wings, I'm so American.
it's all in the name, right? Because it's all branded for the name of the area, is what it comes down to at the end of the day, which is so ironically hilarious when you sit back and look at it because it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, I
Like
didn't
people are
even know
people
it
are
was an area. But yeah, I
because
learned
they never
something. It's like
clean the
Bundaberg
brew
rum.
plant.
Oh,
I
they
have a hard
don't?
time believing that, bro.
Oh.
As a professional company, for them to not clean their stuff, that's super fucked up. Brewing process is fucked. Hey, I'm not surprised. It's industrial. Yeah, well, yeah, because they're mass producing it. Look at how much they make per cap a year. I mean, stop and think about how much they make. Downtime does not happen. That wouldn't surprise me because of how much they make and how often they make it. It's not like a local brewery where there's a brewery season where it's like, okay, well, we have this beer for a limited time. It's the winter special, or it's, the spring special or summer special or whatever. Who are your guests tonight? My co-host is Smoky Rituals, and our guest is MinxOdyssia. I hope I said that right.
Hello.
I always
You can
just say
say whatever
Minx.
you want. MinxOdyssia, but yeah, just call me Minx.
Yeah,
I didn't,
it's a lot. It's a
I
lot
didn't make
easier.
it. It was just my pre-existing name when I sat on Twitch. I didn't expect to still be streaming, but here I am 2 years later.
Here we be.
Yeah, I would have branded myself better. But yeah,
So
hello.
then, what do you have gone with then? Now I'm curious. Now here's some real conversation. We're getting deep now.
Oh, why MinxOdyssia?
Yeah, and why would you have branded it differently?
I mean, branding's kind of my thing. So, and that's a whole other conversation I could have about branding, but it's not food related. But obviously your brand is really important on Twitch if you want to grow, about making it distinctive and recognizable and have really good recall so it's memorable. And there's a big long discussion that we could go on for hours on how to do that and my thoughts of how Twitch streamers, the do's and don'ts. But yes, my name is not memorable. It's not easy to remember. It's not easy to say. People are confused by it. Like, they'll remember Minx, but there's a lot of Minxes. So yes, I would have rebranded to something that explained a little bit more about what I do and everything. But I do this for fun. So
Not gonna
Minx
lie,
is just so
like
yeah.
as I started
Mm.
to follow you, it was Mink's Odyssey.
Yeah, yeah. Nah. And that's why I'm really accepting of it as well. It's like I'm not gonna get paid. My first time seeing you, Minx. Hello. Aw, thank you. Thank you so much, Lola. It's nice to meet you.
Fraternal, welcome in.
Trixie Minx. That's really cute. That's really cute. Yeah. I haven't
Okay.
Thank
thought
you, thank
about
you, Lola.
rebranding or
Thank
anything.
you.
But yeah, here in a different capacity, talking as more of a food producer and broadcast background than my streaming, but it's been fun. Thank you.
No, but that's what we do here. We do
Yeah.
both. That's the great thing
Yeah.
about this podcast.
Yeah.
We
Get to talk about something a bit different.
we're able to dabble in different fields and yet keep it related at the same time.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Huh.
So let's go.
Vibes. True.
So let's go with some streamer questions while we're on
Sure.
the streamer end of it. What Oh, hmm, which one do I want to go with? You know what? What what is your goal? What is your end game
As a
with
streamer,
as a streamer on Twitch?
yeah, this is an interesting question because for me, I didn't start streaming wanting to be a streamer. So like I didn't have big dreams of it. I'm already in the production industry. So it's like I'm not trying to get into production because I'm already there. I'm not trying to make a name for myself because I've already been there. And for me, yeah, it was like I started it to learn something for my job, and then we ended up staying here. So it's interesting what it's become because I say I don't stream because I want to, I stream because I have to. For me, it became a way of facing my anxiety a lot. And so on
Okay.
one side, I enjoy it because it allows me to fuck around as a producer and try different things and get involved in immersive content and what I consider to be the future of content creation and bring that to my clients. But it
Okay.
became a lot more personal where I was like, I need to do this because it is bringing my self esteem back, which I lost a lot through my industry and my work, and bringing my confidence back in myself. And I have moments where, like, I've cried on stream, I've had panic attacks on stream, and I kind of just work through it.
Ooh.
And one of my co-hosts once said to me, they're like, just do it scared. So I do. I just do it scared. It's very real. And so now I have to because I have healed so much as a person and gotten so much more confidence to just fuck it, do it anyway since I've started streaming
Yo, welcome in,
that
Scorpio.
I keep do it because I have to. So yeah, I don't really have a goal at the moment. For me, it's I'm just really enjoying the journey of it instead of whatever the destination will end up being.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, I want to be famous. I think I'll get onto the table and start rocking myself. If I suddenly blow up, I don't want that. I'm good. I like getting
Yeah, for
away with
real.
being able to say really non PC jokes and no one reports me. That's great. I'm gonna stay small.
I don't gotta deal with HR in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I really do. Because it's so hard to be yourself sometimes. And it's like a lot of times that's where people just want to be. They just want to be somewhere where they can just be themselves and not be judged or criticized, or they just want to
Yeah,
be accepted for who they are and be them fucking selves.
anonymity is a warm blanket. That's exactly it. It's like I can just be myself outside of my work, and I can just have fun or a panic attack, and I can just be myself. It's good. I enjoy it. Sometimes. Not in the middle of a panic attack. Then I don't enjoy it. Then I'm like, I'm quitting the streaming shit. This is fucked.
Right. I'm out. Fuck this.
Fuck this. We're writing. Where am I?
See, but I feel that too though, because it's like even for someone, who's been doing it for a while on Twitch, and I can't tell you the amount of people that I've come across where they're like, I don't even know why I do this anymore because I am so over fucking Twitch and streaming and
Yeah.
showing up and doing this and doing that for nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
well, what did you do to make something of it? Is the question I always go to. Like,
Yeah.
if if you're if you feel like you're a nobody and a nothing on Twitch, why? Like, what did you do to embody that? Like, did you
Yeah.
network? Did you network? Did you socialize? Did you put your stuff on social media? Are you
Yeah.
are you promoting yourself in any kind of way? Like, a lot of different elements go into that. And if you're not doing all those different elements, guess what? You're probably not going to succeed.
Truth,
Yeah. Yeah.
truth.
You
I'm.
can't just
It's.
you can't just fire up a
Yeah.
stream and say, "Hey, I'm going to be popular and cool on Twitch." No, that's not how the fuck it
No.
works.
No.
And guess what? The day and era that where that did happen is long gone.
Very,
Those
very
Yeah.
true.
people have 5,000 viewers per stream.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And it comes up a lot because, like, especially as a producer, I get a lot of people approach me who want to be famous. And it's like, I'm gonna say it straight. Like people who think they're gonna become big and earn enough money to live on Twitch, you're probably not. Like you're just not. Like the percentage chance of that is ridiculous. And if you go into content creation with that dream of, especially people who are trying to escape their own work life or industry at the time, they're like, I hate my job, so maybe if I take off as a content creator, I can quit my job. And it's like you realize that content creation is more of a grind than a 9 to 5 job. And now you're doing
It
that
really
on
is.
top of your job. And then
Mm.
it's also like the idea that you can just walk into another industry and know what you're doing and just magically take off just based on who you are is kind of crazy. It's the same thing as me walking into a kitchen and being like, I'm a chef now. Like, it's not going to happen. It's like there's a huge learning curve and you need to
See,
learn. Like, if you want to take off, it's like learn camera skills if you're going to be a camera. Learn about being your own producer and how to create stories. Learn about marketing and how to get yourself out there. Learn editing. Learn photography. Go take some acting lessons so you can learn how to ad lib and how to use your voice correctly. Like, you can't just magically get big. Like, you have to have skills. And the problem is, people get really obsessed with this idea of being discovered or like going viral, like they're really big
Hmm.
words. And then they're like, oh, it's not fair that this person blew up and not me. It's because of the algorithm. And it's like, well, no, it's because they did something interesting or because
And
they
not
hold themselves in a particular way or
and not only that, but a lot of people these days, they want instant gratification.
they do. They
They
really do.
want
And this is the
instant
worst thing.
gratification and they want to instantly be known for and famous for no fucking reason at all.
Yeah. And so if you go into Twitch with the idea or dream of maybe I will suddenly be discovered or take off or whatever so I can get away from my current life, or looking for some kind of gratification or acknowledgement of who you are, so you're staring at those numbers constantly, you're going to be depressed. You're going
Hmm.
to be super fucking
Oh yeah.
depressed and disappointed. And that's how it is. You're doing something because Twitch has become, it's not just a content creation platform. Twitch has become interactive social media. Everyone's a Twitch streamer. Everyone's a fucking content creator. It's just how
That
it is.
right there.
You 95% of the people you are streaming to are other streamers. We just stream for other streamers. And so like it's just like visiting each other's social account and being like, what are you up to? So it's just
Yep.
a social account. Twitch is another social account. So this
Or
idea
hey,
of like blowing
people in
up
the back, are you
is like,
fucking listening?
yeah. It's like
Huh?
me saying I'm gonna blow up on Facebook. Like that's what it like yeah. I'm just gonna post it on Facebook and I'm gonna take off. It's the same thing at this point. This is social media. So it's like if you're looking for a way to stand out in the crowd and get famous and blah
I'd
blah
expect to
blah,
do it for enjoyment. It's honestly
you're gonna
what
be
it
really
is.
That's it.
disappointed.
That's it right there. Like that is
Yeah.
it. And people often forget about that fact. Like
Yeah.
it literally become another form of social media.
It is. It is. Welcome to social media, guys. You thought you were
Yep.
escaping real life and those terrible Facebook posts. You're back on social media. Like this is what's happening. We're all visiting each other. We're all having
Mm.
fun. So yeah, it's like you are competing with other streamers around you and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's just a different way of looking at things and like when people could they're like, I joined Twitch because I was lonely. Okay. And I want to make friends to play games with. Oh, that's a legitimate thing. Like that's really cool. So you are
I
now
see that a
streaming
lot.
with other
I see
streamers
that a
in a
lot,
social
actually.
media capacity. You're part of communities. Like that's legit. That's using social media. That is how Twitch is being used. So that like the amount you have to grind to make pittance to actually survive, like, and this is something else I was going to say. So people were like, how do I make it on Twitch as a chef and survive and blah blah blah. We're going to have to break it down really practically. It's not about followers. It's not about followers. You can have thousands of followers, but if people aren't giving you subs and bits and donations, then you're not making any money and you can't support yourself. It's really yucky to say it, but it's true. If you want to get to the point where you need to earn X amount per month to afford your rent and your food and all your basic shit, you then need to calculate how many subs you need to get to support that. And then you got to start thinking of the way you create content that encourages people to support you. And that
Yes.
gets really scary for content creators because suddenly you're asking people for money and you're asking people
Yes.
for support. And that feels really
Yes.
weird. So this is where as a
Yes.
content creator, you need to start thinking of giving value instead of just kind of asking. If you're coming up like subathons and fun games or 10% goes to charity or whatever, so it feels awful, but if you want to make it on Twitch, and that's stage one compared to becoming famous, you got to start breaking down and crunching the numbers, and then you got to start making
Mm.
content which isn't just about the passion, it's becoming a job. Now you need to make content that brings money in, that there's a reason why this audience will want to give you money
Yeah.
or want to support you or get something out of you. Now it's a
Yep.
job.
Yep.
It's the same thing as just waiting to get famous. If you're just going to sit here and wait for subs, that's not going to happen. But that's how you make it on Twitch. That's stage one. I hate to say it. You can have 10 followers, but if they're all whales and giving you money, then you're successful. Like, it's kind of how it is.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
That's
Sell out,
exactly
but to
how
the
it is.
right people. Exactly.
Yeah, and
Everyone
that's
just
what
gets
it
sugar
is. And
daddies. Just get sugar
seeing
daddies.
seeing that question has
The
been brought up
glitch.
in itself so many times. It's like, what can I do to make myself grow besides um networking and being in people's streams? Um, having actual content will help you grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
And
ha-
yeah.
showing something and doing something that people want to watch and people want to tune in for, that will help you grow.
Yeah.
Because you can't sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm doing a sleeping stream and I
Not
hope
the
everybody
sleeping
comes
stream.
in." Like what? I've unfollowed people because of that. Legit. Like I've literally seen people that are doing only sleeping streams, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking with you no more. Fuck off.
This is like literally the
Not doing it.
definition of wanting overnight success. I love it. Wake up.
Mm,
Oh wow, look at all these people and money while I slept. Cha-ching,
yeah,
easy. But yeah,
yeah.
it's it's just like that. And I think this is the thing with the gaming scene in particular. Like gaming's even harder to stand out in. Like food and
Correct.
drink have a category issue where you can stand out. Like I'm one of my top food and drink streamers in my category in my time period because no one else is fucking awake and no one else is streaming. It's like coming first out of one people. But hey, I'm successful, right? I'm like the top of the food and drink category when I stream. Apart from like the 24/7 fucking loop stuff. But it's like if there's no one in the category, then am I successful? No. Because
No,
there's no one
no.
watching. We've had to grow our audience in a really different way. And it's the same of like we were talking about branding earlier, and this is a whole other discussion which I've done on other podcasts and other discussions. But it's like you need to stand out. You need to find out what your unique selling points are that attracts people to you. Why would they click on you out of anyone else? And that's a really interesting thing to ask yourself. Like have a look at who else is streaming in your category, your game at that time, and be like, why would they click on me compared to anyone else who's playing the same game, who's doing the same shit? Like is it the logo, the same logo that everyone else is using because there's a very particular logo style that everyone uses on Twitch? Like is it the way that I'm naming my Twitch stream so people know what I'm doing? Like you've got to kind of step into those shoes. And food and drink is really different with that because it's like there's not as much competition. And so people aren't really competitive, and the food and drink community are quite friendly. And,
The
and
niche, the
collabing
niche
is
is
a lot.
different too,
Yeah, and
because
collabing is
I've
way
noticed,
harder.
and I've noticed a lot more of food and drink streamers. They are very particular about being in other food and drink. Like they'll only support
Yeah.
other food and drink streamers. Okay.
Yes,
First of all,
yes, yes, yes.
the second part to that is there's clicks within that food and drink streamer category as well. Now, the Food and Drink
Yeah.
Creators Club has been nice because they're starting to bring all of them together. But there are still so many clicks like, oh, I'm only going to fuck with these people because only these people are in these other people's streams.
These are social media. This is just social media. Like this isn't a
A
content platform.
prime,
This is
a
a social media
prime
platform.
fucking example. Exactly.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Harder,
it's
harder.
true what you say about food streamers follow food streamers, and this comes down to, like, you stream for streamers. We're all streaming for streamers. But it's why we had to think really differently so I could help out Chef Wolfie, is because people get confused when they find us in a food stream and then they come back and we're playing games. And this goes into a whole different thing of, as a chef, because my food category isn't doing very well, should I expand and start playing games as well and try and attract new people? And it's that gets really confusing when you start expanding out of your own category, because you're just becoming a variety streamer there. So you're not really a foodie who is also gaming. You're now a variety streamer, and that's the audience that you're starting to model in, compared to specializing yourself. And it's why I've seen a lot of people who have different accounts. They're like, oh, this is my chef account and this is my gaming account. And they start to separate their
Right.
brands, and then they'll cross promote themselves. Hey, if you're interested in food, I'm also doing this on Saturday, but they keep their accounts really separate so that their brand, this is just my food brand, and everything associated it is
But
only food. And I can really understand that.
here's here's a whole nother twisted fact is that when gamers came to come check out my stream, they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know there was a food and drink. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a chef
Yeah.
for real. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I didn't know you actually cooked food live. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Twitch should have more of this." I'm like, "Well, there actually is." Um,
Yeah, there's a whole category people don't realize. Yep, it's true. And this
it's
is where the,
there.
the creator club's going to help. Is they're slowly making work, and it's run by some really awesome ambassadors as well, who are also streamers. So it's gonna be
Yes.
cool to see that grow. But it's definitely an
Yes.
issue like we've had, is because people will come during the food stream, they'll come back and we're gaming for the rest of the week, and they're like, oh well, I don't want this. I only want cooking. Or
I'm like,
a lot of
yeah.
cooking streamers won't raid me because they're like, well, we don't consider you a cooking streamer. You're a variety streamer. And they're right. Like, I am a variety streamer. So it's
Hmm.
really hard to make sure that our chef segment
I
gets a
see
lot
that
of love,
all the time.
because they're not, yeah, they're not in that clique. So it's interesting. But we just accept that we're
Oh yeah.
variety.
Oh yeah,
But our
for
audience is
sure.
really different
100%.
because of that. Yeah, overlapping crowds don't jive. But I really like our audience because of that. Because I wouldn't say that our cooking stream audience are, they don't
No, no, no.
cook. They're nerds.
I was agreeing with the last one. That's
Ah.
because Twitch isn't giving enough exposure to that
Oh,
category.
100%. 100%. And I think that's going to change. I do have faith in Twitch, surprisingly, but I think they're going to slowly grow
Definitely
that.
gotten
And
more over the last few years.
yeah, and the club itself, like, one of the first things, like, I ran when we launched the club, I helped organize a raid train. Like, we've been doing work ourselves to try and grow and get more attention within it as well. And that's what you can do as audience as
Yeah.
well. Like, be aware that just because you guys know that the category exists, a lot of other people don't. So mention it to people. Like, put it out
Yeah.
there. Like,
Oh yeah.
tell everyday people, did you know there's a food and drink? They don't know. Help the
Yeah,
cause.
I since I've changed my name to the name that it is now, and popping off in other streamers' streams that are not food and drink related, they're like, "Oh, are you an actual chef?" I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
yeah, I am. I wouldn't put that in my name if I wasn't. I guarantee you fucking that." Like,
Yeah.
it,
It's
it,
it's
it's
good
been
self
so
promotion.
wild. It's been just so wild because it's like, yeah, yeah, I am.
That's why branding's important. That's why I say do as I say, not what I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't listen to my own shit. I'm just having fun. But branding is important, even if you're popping into other people's streams and they see your name. That's why a lot of people do the .ttv or the VT or stuff in their name, because people immediately are like, oh, they're a streamer. That can have two reactions. Sometimes people are like, oh, they're another fucking streamer. But it can also, if people are chatting to you and they enjoy your personality in chat and it's in your username, they're probably going to click on you because it's right
See,
there advertising.
chatting to me has been a double-edged sword because I I'm so good at going into other people's chats and streams and throwing up emotes and saying, "Hey, I'm busy doing this." But when I actually have time to chat and I'm sitting there trying to feel out the chat to see if what I want to say is okay to say, if I have to sit there and think about it, I'm likely to not want to chat
Yeah. We we we
because
uh we have a very
if if I have to decide on
moderate
whether or
yourself.
not to chat,
Mm.
I'm probably not going to chat.
Do. We have a very funny test in our group where our co-host Koi, his chat name is Sideho Senpai. And when
Why?
we raid into new people and he follows, we like to see their reaction to his name. And if they're like, oh, it's
I
fucking
mean,
hilarious, we're like, oh, we'll be fine here. But if they're like, oh, hi, side, we're like, oh, no, we're not going to work here. So it's like this really funny little tell of, and I do, like, when I raid, I am looking, because we are very, like, 18 plus non-PC humor.
hmm.
I do check who I raid into to make sure that they can deal with us because we're not
Right,
family
right.
friendly. That's not gonna work.
Crazy Lola, be you. Be you when you stream. A mask is impossible to maintain. Have fun when you stream. Always be a little nervous when you hit the go live button. You're responsible for your audience for the next 2 hours of entertainment. I love that. And you know what? And that goes hand in hand with Chaos Reaper's statement of censor yourself. No, I'm not going to censor myself. I'm sorry. I'm going to be me 100% of the time. Like, I'm going to cuss. I'm going to drink. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to say what I feel needs to be said. And if that's not what you like, oh
Yeah,
fucking well. That's
it's
that's
things like,
that's like censoring. Yeah, censoring is lame. I mean, yes and no at the same time. If you're trying to appeal to a certain group of people, then yes, I understand that. Because there's other streamers, because of the time that they stream in, they're trying to stream family friendly. So they're not going to cuss as much if they even do it all. They're not going to be overboard in anything that they do so much. They're going to keep it very PC. Okay. And I personally can't do it. I don't have time for that shit. I, I literally
as
don't.
do you remember me mentioning earlier the louder challenge based person with their glocky wocky? That's Doom. So Doomed Bread Pounder is literally one of my co-hosts, which is why he's saying stuff like censoring is lame and get chat banned like a man. They're my co-host. this is this is what I have to deal with. But yeah, oh my goodness, I've just noticed the time as well. I'm gonna have to jump at some point. I gotta feed myself pasta, and
Yeah,
it's
I get to take the dog for a walk and stuff too.
yeah,
I
it's
feel it.
like yeah, this has been fun. Doom. I was curious about that as well, Doom. I'm like, what's FFS? Like, I don't want to ask and seem ignorant, but what is it? I feel like I know it, but I'm
Yeah,
like
shit talking's good in certain manners. It's when random people come in and just don't understand
join
the
it.
energy. Yeah, and
Yeah. Oh, family friendly streamer. Yeah, okay, that makes so much sense. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, we are not that.
definitely not
We're
family
not that.
friendly.
No, we're not that. We're definitely not that. I respect it. Like, technically, we were talking about like sponsorship and stuff. So that's another thing is sponsors are going to look at your channel, and a lot of brands are family
For
friendly.
fuck's
So
sake.
if you are not a family friendly channel, are you going to have a harder time getting sponsors? Yes. It's just kind of
Yeah.
how it is. Because
Yeah.
if like they'll be fine probably with you using their product and that kind of stuff. Will they share you? Because now they have a responsibility if they're a family friendly brand. If they share you on their social, they are sending their people to a non-family friendly channel, and that's their responsibility. So that's where it's like
Get real friendly with your
you
mom.
can't. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, if you want to get big, make money off of it, blah blah blah, um, but you want to be genuine and you want to be yourself, this is where maybe you do want to consider splitting your brands up or something like that. But yeah, like if you're not family friendly, you are going to have a bit more issue with sponsors. It's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, I already know it's getting late. We're actually in almost an hour past our usual go time.
Yeah,
Um,
gotta
so
go. It's been
what
fun.
is absolutely what is traditional for us on the podcast, Minx, is that you get to decide who we rate out to
Oh, okay. I know they're
as
gonna hate me for this, but I
as
know.
our guest.
Thank you.
We allow the guest to decide where we go.
Let me check that
Yo,
they
as
still
I
don't.
get rated,
They.
let's go.
Hey. Yes.
Ray. Welcome in, Ray. Thank you for bringing your squad over here with us. Thank you so much.
W Raid, W Raid.
I will. Should I? Where should I send it? Should I just put the name in chat, or should I put it in
Yeah, you can put it in
Um,
DM, or
chat.
put it in
yeah, put
chat?
it in
Okay.
chat so that I can go look at them and check them out first, please.
Yeah. No. Yes. Um, I feel bad doing this while being raided. Hello, sorry to put another name in while you're
No,
coming in.
yeah.
Everyone,
We are
follow Ray,
about to rate
please.
out. It is the end of the night for us. We are rating out as well. Big,
um,
big fucking love to Ray. We love Ray. If you guys don't know Ray, please go check her out. She's amazing people. She's got that thick Boston accent, but we love her anyway.
oh, nice. Purgy Wurgy, yeah, Purgy Wurgy. Purgemas is almost like our brother channel.
Okay.
He is being tortured because of me right now. He hates horror games, and I am making him play The Quarry, which is an amazing game. It's not a food streamer, which I apologize for, but I'm kind
No,
of
it's all right.
expanding you a little bit. They're another Australian
Hey,
streamer.
but that's
They're
that's
very
that's the whole
supportive
point.
of food streamers. So you'll see him hanging out in food streams a lot. He loves that. In fact, we're trying to encourage him because he
Um,
talks a lot about he wants to do some stuff in his kitchen soon. So hopefully we can encourage him to start food streaming as well.
yes.
And it'll be
Yo,
fun.
Kellyfy, welcome in. Wow. Alex Misono, welcome in. Yo, you rated me too. Let's go. Double raid. Let's go. Yo, what the fuck? Thank
Oh my
you.
god. Hello, everyone. Thank you
Guys,
for
I wish
having
we
me.
had been here sooner.
I
We are
know, we're
rating out
For
as
raiding
real.
follows.
out.
For real.
Aw,
Unfortunately, it do be like that sometimes.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
do, and I'm so
But
sorry.
keeping it going. Raid train. Yeah, exactly. It's a raid train. And
Yeah, pretty
thank you.
much at
Thank you,
this
everyone
point,
I've
right?
met here. You guys have a really cool community, so it's been really nice to
Thank you
chat with
for
all of
coming
you and
on.
meet all of you. I'll be back in the chat at some point anyway. I try to visit, but it's really cool to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was very nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Yo,
Be
thank you for that
safe. Thank you.
follow. Yo, guys, thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you guys coming in. It is amazing to see how this podcast itself has grown. And with what we're doing and what we're going to be doing, it's only going to get bigger, guys. So please, if you're not following, please hit that follow button, and to be sure to check us out on Sunday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, USA. I'm gonna definitely say that now because our guest is from Australia.
I'm Australian. Yep. Very different times.
Bilal says hi. Yo, Bilal, what's good, bro? Yo, tell him I said hi. I love Bilal. That's my buddy. Ray, I feel like at this point is like a sister to me, and Bilal is like a brother to me. I love them so much. I really do. Um, okay. So I just went over there doing some horror stuff. Okay.
Yeah. I he is a platinum gamer, I suppose you could say. So he's always trying to platinum and do challenges. He's always up for it. He's been
Okay.
on a few of our cooking streams as well. So
Let's
we drag him into
go.
our world a lot, and he loves it.
Let's
And
go.
yes, I am making him play the quarry at the moment, and he's
Oh,
a pussy.
snap.
So
Nah, he's a
he's
pussy.
he's a pussy.
Let's
He'll
go.
admit to it. He's a pussy. There's nothing quite
Okay.
as funny as watching an Australian freak out.
Okay, so
It's great with the
guys, what
accent.
I'm gonna do is um I'm gonna do my closing comments. We're gonna do our closing comments real quick, and then I'm gonna start the raid. I'm gonna go back to the start screen and play our music, our new music that we just got that I did myself. I'm so proud. Um, we're gonna check that out, and then we're gonna raid out. Yo, Tanny, stick around for the raid, please. Please stick around for the raid. Mish, 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 Mish. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Um, so let me go ahead and cue this up.
Apocalypse, thank you so much. And Lily, I just saw the follow. Thank you so much. I'll follow back and try visit. I want to visit you guys. You guys are so lovely here.
Yes, yo, big fucking love. I love all you guys. I really do. All the support you guys have given me, and all the things that we're working on doing and what's coming in the future. I promise you it will not disappoint because all we keep doing is getting better and better and better at this as we work on it. I promise you that. Smokey, you got anything closing comments you wanna say?
No, it's a good episode. Yeah. I've been up for almost 24 hours. I'm tired. That's my closing
Damn,
statement.
bro.
I had to be up at fucking 6:30 for work.
Why is it
Doing
not
what?
letting me start the raid?
Oh, Dove, thank you.
Do I have to be following